Mic check 1 2. Shneaky in the house.
We're good. We're going live with my man Shneaky. What's up?
What's up? You know, it's like getting off to a bad start when your lighter fucking goes out of gas.
Man. Yeah, so lots of things to talk about. There's a lot of things that we want to go over. But to start it off, I kind of want to, it's been a long time coming. I've been getting at you for quite a while now, like, hey, Shneaky, come on the podcast. And I know you're a busy man, and you run a podcast yourself.
Yeah, which is in hiatus right now, but yeah. And you're not the only one, man. Like, I start a lot of these conversations off with, like, oh, I've been trying to get you on the pod for a minute, and I always feel bad because it's like, dude, it's not that I'm dissing you, It's just...
No, yeah, it's crazy. It's like, we're all... individuals trying to get things done and trying to do the most for our community and trying to do the most for the people that we engage with and stuff,
and like on a more primitive level, just survive, right? Like,
oh yeah,
I live off a lot of the shit that I do. It's like paying bills and buying food and keeping my car running and all that shit.
Tell me about the car running, man. No, yeah, but hey, I welcome you here, and welcome to the studio.
Thanks for having me. I like your setup.
Yeah. We've been doing a little bit. We got some new things coming. So
it's very like a creative space, I walk in and it's like, oh, you create here. We got turntables, you got fucking electric drum set, bass. The energy in here is very like creative. I like that. Yeah,
that's what we're trying to go for a little bit. We want for different medias, different opportunities for creators, and we can have a live stream with, say, a DJ set.
Or people making beats and shit. Yeah, that would be dope. I like your fucking camera rig, too. You made this yourself, huh?
Yeah, it's made out of leftover TV wall mount parts.
I could tell, but hey, dog. Ingenuity, bro. Like, fucking... What's the quote? Necessity is the mother of invention, right?
Absolutely.
All right, let me see who just tagged into my... Oh, what's up, Theo Lennon? How y'all doing? Hey, we getting it. Camo, 211 in the house.
There you go.
Sorry, I'm be giving out shout outs. I'm on Instagram Live. If anybody wants to see the stream, @official Shneaky, go check it out.
Yep.
Oh yeah, this is not live though. Oh fuck, I'm so used to my podcast.
No, we're live. We're live right now. Yeah, so this is going directly to YouTube. People can.
People could go to YouTube right now and watch this.
YouTube.com/DJ Occult.
YouTube.com/DJ Occult. I guess we are live. I guess go there too. If you're on the official Shneaky stream, you want to check out the Occult stream, go to the fucking YouTube. Dope. I had no idea. Thanks for the heads up.
No worries. I did say live stream, right?
You did. Yeah. I didn't. You know what? It's early.
It is early.
I hadn't smoked my weed when you told me that. I wasn't ready. Now I know what's going on.
It's the end of the weekend. Hey, yeah. What you had going on this weekend?
This past weekend, Villain Park listening party on Friday. Then Saturday, Golden Road brunch, 11 to 3. And then Saturday night, went to a Left Method after hours to support, Higher Ground Promo family. Shout out fucking Higher Ground Promo. Left Method did a dope-ass after hours event. And then Sunday, I went to bed like at 4. Had to wake up and be at Golden Road again at 11. Did that shit 11 to 3. Then I went on Sunday, I went to Latina Fest. And then I ended my night at Novocaine Bar. Met up with like a woman empowerment circle, Fit and Fearless. I hope I'm not fucking that up. Yeah. And then went home, called it a night. Dude, I was so tired. And my girl was like, come to downtown LA. And I was like, I can't. Like, I'm exhausted. Like, I got to be up in the morning and like aware so I could do this podcast and not be all like, I'm hungover, bro. I'm sorry that I suck right now.
Nah, and people don't understand the struggle, man. Like, some people... creators and what would you call them, influencers of the area and from all over the place,
entrepreneurs, fucking creatives. Yeah,
people do stuff, man. It takes a lot of work and effort, and people everywhere are doing stuff,
and I feel like the more you do, the more people you run into who are doing a lot. So now my circle is just a bunch of people who are doing a bunch of shit. So whenever we get a chance to like go support I hadn't been to a Left Method. I've been working with the Higher Ground Promo for like almost a year now, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. Hadn't been to one of the Left Method events. We're constantly helping each other out, boosting, like helping promote. but never had a chance to make it out. So, you know, had a
yeah.
Saturday night off. I was like, fuck it. Like, we went with the squad, you know, Face, Barlos, Jelani. We went deep.
I saw a little bit of that.
Yeah. So it's like we never get a chance to do that, you know, because we're always so busy. So when we get a moment like that, I try to take advantage. And it's the same shit. Like, everybody in my circle who can't always show up to my stuff is because, like, I know they're out there hustling, you know. So it's cool.
Natural born hustlers, man. That's how we grew up. That's how we do it out here, man. But it's so crazy to see the evolution of what Southeast LA has become. You know what I mean? And Southeast LA is just from the time that we started doing this to the time that to now, you know, life is crazy.
It used to be just the Allen Theater,
and
then it was Compton house parties, Compton Linwood house parties.
Yeah.
And
after it got shut down,
and then it was like Alivio open mic, and now it's like Sella Arts Festival, Speak Easy, Alivio. Like, you know, it's just, I remember being in San Diego when I went to school over there and seeing all the shit happening over here that people were doing over here, and I totally felt like I was missing out on something, you know. And
so how long were you down in San Diego for?
2013 to 2017, so like 4 years.
4 years?
4.5 years.
That's a long time to spend in a place.
No, yeah, dude. And not only that, like, to leave, that was like the first time I could legit say, like, I left my home and I went somewhere where, like, people didn't know me and I had no reputation.
Yeah,
I wasn't, people didn't recognize me when I was walking in the streets, you know, and it was totally humbling experience. And definitely, I mean, I say this shit all the time. UC San Diego definitely changed me, and it made me the person I am today. And if I had not gone there, I don't think I'd be doing everything that I'm doing at the level that I'm doing it at right now.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think that, you know, in your early 20s, it's very, very important for most people to go out there and experience a new environment.
I mean, you did the same thing, right? You
I did the same thing.
Where'd you go again?
I just took off. I just went to San Francisco.
And you opened up a bike shop?
Yeah.
That's fucking fire, dog. Yeah, people don't do that shit.
Yeah, I had one down here. I just figured, hey, I want to try something new, go to a new city where I don't know people, where people seem to be doing what I want to do, you know? And
they have a heavy bike community up there.
Yeah, it's a lot of biking out there. There's a lot of...
it's like safer, right? The roads, infrastructure, there's more bike infrastructure.
Absolutely, yeah. You could say the West Coast bike hub, you know, of this country. So like that area is like heavy on bikes. Where LA, you know, more people drive out here, more people are fucking doing this and that. So
I feel it. People they want me to type in the website real quick. So it's YouTube.
Yeah, youtube.com
.com/DJ Occult.
Yeah, OCCULT.
ULT.
Just like that, no spaces, nothing.
My homie Abe wants to see my titty. Here you go, papas. Sorry, bro. I'm a freak.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm catering out here. I'm pandering to my group right now. My bad.
No, you're good. This is what it's about.
So, yeah, dude, I remember being over there and just thinking, like, fuck, like, I need to go back to HP. Like, I need to, like, that's my community. I see people in my network fucking doing shit out there. Like, I can go back there and make an impact. So, like, that's what I did. Quit my job.
Yeah, that's fucking rad, bro. And you know, it teaches you how to engage new circles of people, and that's something that I learned as well. Like when people, I'm sure you noticed this, that from people growing up in South LA, they'll form kind of like a circle of like friends, you know, like a small
clique, like a little crew,
yeah. And then
that'd be their group.
It
forever.
gets difficult for new people to integrate into this group, but it also gets difficult for them to leave the group if they ever so wish. So like it kind of is limiting to their life experience, you know.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, because me and my friends like intentionally go out and find new people to add to our group, you know, because we're constantly like, yo, like. We love our, you know, like we have a very tight group of friends, right? I have my original circle of some homies that I went to high school with, you know, and little by little, like it would have been really easy to just keep it us three, us four, us five, or whatever. But you know, over time, like especially me, like us being in a band and then me being a DJ and events, like you're constantly meeting new people, and it's hard not to find dope people that you're like, yo, like I want you to be my homie, you know, like I want you to be.
That's right.
In my circle, bring your energy. Bring your ideas, bring your comedy, you know, bring your personality, and like let's make this shit more fun, you know. So
the more the merrier. That's something I live by, you know. Like everything I do, sometimes like my girlfriend would get mad, like, what? We're not trying to do all this with all these people. And I'm like, well, why not? You know?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes that happens. That happens to you often?
I mean, it goes both ways, right? Sometimes it's like, I don't want any strangers here. You know, I want this to be like intimate where like I know everybody. I want it to be just homies. And other times it's like, yo, man, I want this shit to be as wild, popping off. Like, tell your friend to bring a cousin's step brother's mother's son. You know, I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, no, place and time.
Yeah, man. But I think the biggest part about that, trying to like meet new people and grow, is just like realizing that people don't know you. You know, like you walk into a situation as a fully formed human being and you expect kind of people to like know who you are and stuff. And it's like, you gotta like, you kind of have to show people, you know, you gotta communicate. You gotta.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. You know, that's what I find interesting about the event that we do, the Redwood, because at the Redwood Room, there's so many different people coming through, you know, and it's just always people with different skill sets, different characters, different mindsets, different philosophies, ideologies. And the more people you get in a place that think differently, the more diversity there is in the thought. So you live life better to know more about different shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Especially like when you got rappers like Echo fucking will come and rap about some like metaphysical, like fucking futuristic ass shit, you know, technology, data, you know, all this like spiritual, esoteric shit. And it's just like, oh fuck, like this is a whole nother perspective, right? And then you'll have someone like homie from Guatemala just fucking spitting some shit that I didn't really,
Contra.
Yeah, Contra.
Yeah, that fool was rad. Shout out to Contra. That dude, he's rocking it, man. He's doing his shit out there.
He's fucking dope, dude. And that's like another thing is like I realized recently, like I was going through old photos and you sent me some videos, you know, like we've had, like you talk about where Southeast LA is now, right? Like just in the last 2 years that Speakeasy has been going on, we've had people from like Minnesota, Indiana, Canada, Guatemala, all these people from all over, you know, San Diego, fucking Oakland, like just come and rock in Southeast LA, you know?
Yeah.
And that to me is like, that's incredible. Like, cause.
Yeah. To be honest, for an event put together, you know, largely by you, like, whereas most of the effort is coming from you. Yeah. You know, it's pretty an incredible feat to think about something like that, you know? Just one of the reasons why I participated in it and why I was even checking you out before I came back from San Francisco. I was still up there and I was already telling people like, hey, yo, I might come down, or, you know, we should do something or whatever, you know?
Right. So, I think we had a conversation. You're like, I'm going to come back and start a podcast and build a studio. Are you down? And I was like, yeah.
See?
And look at this shit.
And now it's here. Now we're in it.
It's here. It's happening, bro.
Hell yeah, man. Hey, it's a good beginning for us at the studio. So, you know, we're trying to establish like something pretty dope. And I know you're all about the community.
Right.
And you're all about bringing that experience to the community, kind of, you know, getting people to change their mindset a little bit about the hood and what the hood is. And
well, seriously, like the Redwood Room, right? Like that was a place, like, again, if you go back 2-3 years, like you would walk in there on a Friday night and you wouldn't see any of the people that you see there now, you know? And I literally had people tell me like, yo, man, I never used to come to this bar, but like now that I know, like, you know, they've been making changes and cleaning it up, upgrading, like now people are like, yo, I could just walk here, you know? And they used to be able to walk to that bar and not even want to go there, and now it's like their spot, because it's like what we've been able to do there, just the energy we put in and the business we've been able to bring has already transformed the space, you know?
Yeah, man, that's pretty crazy, transforming like a space that was otherwise kind of being wasted, not being used properly.
Yeah, or just like not being appreciated.
And
that's what happened when I talked to the manager. She's like, yo, like, you know, we had all these regulars, and that's kind of like how our bar survived. And now our regulars are like old, retired, you know, they're passing away. They're not able to drink anymore for health reasons. And like our bar is literally like, we need new customers. We need new blood, fresh, young. And like, what can we do, you know? So like right away added an IPA menu, you know?
Oh, yes.
Right away. You want young people, like, you know, get some stronger beers in here. Yeah.
You got to have IPAs.
Yeah, craft, you know, like just variety. Started throwing a monthly hip-hop show there, promoting it. like creating videos, asking you to take photos, you know, showing the space in this way, like lights, you know, dim, filled with young, diverse crowd, awesome entertainment, and then the people's perceptions change of the space, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
And now they have people reaching out, promoters are trying to book them every week, you know. They have a whole new influx of like, they're throwing shows there constantly with like young bands and young promoters who like never even knew the Redwood could be a space like that, you know.
That's it. See, that's the eye that it takes to do this, to play this game, is you have to look at something not for the value that people have assigned to it, but for its potential value. You know, you see something, you're like, well, I see some potential there, you know? Like, I could reach out, and then what you see with your eyes, you make it a reality. You know what I mean?
Definitely, bro.
Yeah, so, and I think...
And sometimes it's crazy, and people don't believe it's gonna, you know? I had so many people tell me, like, why do you throw shows in that shitty bar? Like, you know, like, it smells like piss, and the regulars are like these old creepy dudes who are like harassing the women, and, you know, like, we do our best to, and it's like, if when we bring enough of our crowd, that shit doesn't happen, you know, because our people, you know, are more respectful of the space, and they're more respectful of the women, and the fact that there's more bodies make like the regulars uncomfortable to act out that way, because you know, like, for a minute in the early days, like, it was a clash because they like feel like they were losing their bar, you know.
Yeah, but also, like, with anything, if you're doing a transition that's like, you know, it's drastically different, of course what's gonna happen, there's gonna be some minor, like, you know, bumps down the road, but
right.
But that's just an effect of making some different shit happen, you know?
But then you see all the positive effects, you know? Like, they
yeah.
have new lights, string lights outside, all the banners are upgraded, all the chairs have been reupholstered, you know? Like, the beers can continue to expand, like, the bar cleans up. Like, it's like, you know, now that it's a viable business again, and there's, like, an influx of customers, and there's new customers, and there's, like, a steady flow of clientele, like, the owner feels like he can invest more and make it, you know, and build it up for the folks that are there now, you know?
Hell yeah. See, that's dope. Yeah, see, that I kind of apply the same mindset of converting spaces that would be otherwise looked over, you know?
Right.
And trying to turn them into something. That's the whole idea behind the first bike shop. Like, we had a lot of parties there, and we tried to connect with the community. We did skate park competitions, bike races, and things like this, right?
Right.
And,
yeah, you added your like event skills to your bike shop,
exactly,
so it wasn't just a bike shop. It was
it was
an
a chill spot.
organization as well,
It was the spot for Linwood for a little while until, you know, it just went kind of like, you know, for several reasons I decided to sell it and go to San Francisco. But as we all know, like, the hood, it can be crazy sometimes too. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, it's like you take a bunch of people who, like, you know, have been disenfranchised and never really had anything nice, and, like, you know, you give them, you know, you give us something and we don't always know what to do with it, right? Like,
that's exactly right.
Like the Allen Theater, like almost any venue, any bar, any lot, any warehouse that we used to rock, like, you know, like, we took advantage of those spaces. We didn't really think sustainable, you know, like, and that's like something that I try to think now, like, don't oversaturate, you know, don't take advantage, don't use a location and, like, burn it out to the point where, like, it's not even a viable source of, like, anything because it's played out, or it's not, like, you know, it loses its mystique and its like majesticness, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's an important point, that a problem with the early 2000s parties that we threw. Like, for the most part, we were exactly doing that to every fucking spot. Like,
for sure.
Every spot we rolled up to, we just, like, overdid it to the max power.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, we couldn't go back there. Right. We ran out of spots eventually.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah, that was a big problem in the late 2000s era.
And, like, we were there to learn from those mistakes, you know. And now I have all that knowledge, and I'm, like, applying it in a way that, you know. That's why I have multiple spots, and I'm always looking for, like, new things that I can do in a way that's, like, new and interesting, so that not every event, because I live off this, right now I'm DJing like 3 to 5 times a week, and I'm always, like, picking up one-offs, right? So if you're doing 3 to 5 exactly the same events, vibes, like, a week, like, how is that sustainable, you know? Like, why are people gonna come and see it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, timing, is key. You gotta have the right timing. You gotta be precise about like how you plan and how you coordinate people's. You're managing people's off time. You know what I mean? Like you're managing what people are doing when they decide to be chilling.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's difficult because most people they want to do whatever they want to do when they're fucking chilling.
And I mean, like, that's almost why it's a vibe. It's an ambiente, it's like an environment. Like we're creating it's an energy in the air, so that you don't, I want, well, at least this is what I'm trying to curate. It's not perfect yet. I've only been doing this like really hard for 2 years at this new level and this new venture, right? So I don't have it all figured out yet. But what I'm trying to like really implement is that like when you go to a Shneaky event, it's not necessarily about the music or what's going to be playing or who's going to be there. It's how you're going to feel when you're there. Does that make sense?
For sure. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Don't really connect it to like the theme, but more connected to the fact that like, oh, if Shneaky's thrown in, it's going to be there. Like, I don't know, whoever he booked, they're going to be dope because he only books dope fools. And whoever like rocks, it's going to be dope because, or like whatever the vibe is going to be, it's going to feel tight. Like,
yeah, that's a good way to look at it. Man, but isn't it also crazy like how we can still like think of different things to do and think of like new strategies even though we've been doing this for like kind of a long while, like how long have you been DJing for and doing the whole game?
DJing since 07, 08.
We've been doing this for like for a decade.
Playing music and throwing shows and promoting since I was 14, since freshman year. So that's like what, 03, 04.
Yeah.
And then my brother was always in a band since he was like 12. So I've been.
Are you the youngest?
I'm the youngest. Yeah. Well, it's just me and him. So yeah.
And so okay.
But
so
like
you saw someone kind of try and do something like that before, like with a band and all that.
I was like fucking 10, 11, 12 years old, and I was going to the Roxy and going to the Whiskey and going to the Knitting Factory and like seeing like crazy mosh pits. Like my brother took me to like my first Foo Fighters concert, took me to my first Coachella. I got to see Rage and Mano Chao and Red Hot Chili Peppers and Paul Van Dyke in New York. Just changed my whole fucking life. That was 07. Coachella just changed my whole, like, my first festival, And I realized, like, there's a whole organism, like a whole community, a whole ecosystem. There's a whole economy built on music and experiences, And I think that was really one of, like, the first things that opened my eyes to, like, okay, I'm in a band and I play shows, but like this DJ thing or like actually getting more into like parties is like a whole experience, And like you bring photographers, you bring kegs, you bring other illicit substances, you have projections, like you have fucking dancers and spitting fire, like, and just like it could be a whole big like bigger than just a show, bigger than just like people playing music, like a whole experience. And that was, I think that kind of shaped my path, So definitely music's been like in my life basically forever. And I've been trying to do this shit and trying to make it, like trying to figure out a way to make it happen.
Yeah, for sure, dude. I think like one way to look at it for us, like I guess you could just say there's different kind of DJs. You know what I mean? Like,
for sure.
Like
sometimes I don't even feel like a DJ because I see what like homies Ethos and other peeps like that are high level, what they could do with like scratching and turntablism. Like I have no skill. Like I'm really trying to like get into that and learn, but that's like a whole nother skill. Like that's like practicing an instrument, That's like, it's like you really got it. And I feel like I don't have that level of discipline or understanding yet. So I don't even feel like a DJ sometimes. Sometimes I just feel like I just know what good music is and the right time to play it, like, and I could beat match.
No. I mean, I heard you play before. I think you play pretty well. So
Thank you, bro.
DJing. So you kind of like, are you focused more on the rapping right now? Is that kind of where you're?
Honestly, dude,
and not in terms of like where you're spending your time at, like, because this is what you do for work. So let's say, what do you do for fun? Like, do you?
I'm honestly, dude, like I'm so I hate to say this right now, but I'll just admit it, just for like transparency and honesty. Like I'm just trying to get paid right now. Like I have a lot of student debt. I got a lot of credit card debt that it took me to like start this business. I'm trying to like upgrade as well and like get myself equipment and gear and a company vehicle. So there's a lot of goals that I have that require funds right now, and so I'm just like I'm in a paper chase right now, you know? And I hate it because, like, I wish I could just be, like, all art and I love the fucking music. And I do. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, yeah, I just performed Stella Arts Festival and I got to rock, 15 minutes. And that shit was incredible. Like, the reaction I got from the crowd and just being on stage. And, I mean, you were backing me up. You recorded some footage. You were there. You saw it. Like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you felt it. So, like, I love this shit. But honestly, like, DJing right now is really paying the bills, and so I'm really trying to like level up as a DJ, and that just happens to be what my work is. So that's kind of so when I'm not doing that, I'm just trying to like chill out, listen to podcasts, fucking lay around,
Yeah. Take a break,
eat bomb food, smoke good weed,
food,
like go drink beers.
I feel that. Yeah.
I'm always out anyway for my job, so like when my idea of having fun is like not having to do anything and being able to just lay around, maybe
no, for sure.
Maybe hit up a festival, dance, fucking sweat it out, something like, something therapeutic that has to do where I don't really have to like think about anything.
Yeah, dude, thinking takes a lot. It takes up a lot of brain power. That motherfucker, like, trying to figure things out.
Try to turn this shit off, and just be like.
There you go.
Catch me at a Sunday Sessions, Grand Park, catch me at Dream State.
You were at that Sunday Sessions? Yeah.
The last one was cracking, dog. Whew. Last one was cracking. That shit was fire. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I had a great fucking time.
Yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. Like, all the things going, like, that's another group of people that I know that are doing things like that and having events at the park. And
who do you know?
Yeah. So there's a few guys that I do sound and lighting for, and we're gonna start doing some lighting for an event coming up. Yeah, so yeah, check that out.
Connect me, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'll send you a line for that. But yeah, lots of things, man. It's summer. You know what I mean?
Summer's coming to an end, though, man. I actually just found out that the Golden Road Brunch is actually going to be... My DJing there is going to stop at the end of September because, like, basically...
Summer's done.
So,
damn.
Hey, if anybody's trying to come out and catch me at Golden Road, if you've been saying you're going to come and you've been saying you're going to catch my set, make sure to do it in September because after that, it's going to be only special events, hip-hops leading up, events to hip-hops and just like one-offs and shit. So my residency at Golden Road's gonna end, so if anybody's trying to come out Saturday and Sunday 11 a.m.
You have that on here?
No,
you don't have it on here.
No, because they never provided me flyers and stuff, so I could never put it up
for sure.
But if you just click the events, just like click it, bam, my other residency should be there. Go down. Yeah, so I do Novocaine on Tuesdays. On Thursdays, I'm at Border X. And then I was hoping they're going to give me a flyer that would say Saturday and Sunday, Golden Road, but that should never happen.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah. Well, things end, new things begin, so.
I kind of freaked out at first just because it's income,
Yeah.
But honestly, I think it's a good thing because that shit takes a lot of time and it's a lot of commitment. And I have to miss out on other opportunities to be there.
Yeah.
So I think like with that freeing up, I'll go back into acquisition mode and I'll be able to actually find a bunch of like new and interesting things to do that can probably like lead to bigger and better opportunities, which is what I'm always looking for,
That's cool. Yeah. See, for me, I think, one of the things that's kind of different for me is that for work, I work on bikes. So I kind of split in half, so to speak, like mentally, like half of me, my work side is the bike hustle, and I've been doing the bike shop thing for like my whole life. Like I'm more a bike mechanic than I am anything else.
You still do the bike thing?
Absolutely. I work at a bike shop.
Oh, you work at a bike shop?
Yeah. And mostly that's where my efforts lie in.
And that's like your trade, your craft, right? Like that's like what you're really like high level bike mechanics.
That's where I'm the best at anything in my life.
Really,
is working on bikes. Yeah, for sure.
You do a lot of shit, so that's actually like that's pretty. I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, so I work every day. Like, and then on like when I have a chance to do something, I try and get it done.
Right.
So
I feel it.
That's kind of where I'm at. But it's cool too. They has benefits. You know, one of the benefits being if I'm, you know, want to have funds available to use for other projects, right? So I can kind of inject money easier into places where I wanted to go.
Right, which is what Golden Road was doing for me.
Yeah,
you know, I was just taking that corporate money and pumping it back into like the community, which is why I was able to get like bigger acts and be able to like pay my DJs and try to give some, like, you know, I wanted to be able to actually keep funneling that money into like the pockets of creatives in the area and that are trying to like really hustle, you know. And so that's kind of like
important
what my
to
efforts
understand.
have been.
Yeah, I mean, most people don't understand that a little goes a long way, you know. Like if you just like, you know, people always like, why would you, you know? But it's like that's the benefits of being that person and paying people out and doing the right thing. You know?
I mean, the sad truth is that I feel like a lot of creative, artistic people who make really dope ass music don't value themselves, you know?
Yeah,
like, they don't even. I try to pay people all the time, bro, and they're just like, "Oh, thank you for letting me rock, man. Like, it's cool. I don't need it." And I'm just like, "No, bro, take this $20. It's only $20. Like, that's all I have to give you. Get yourself some gas. Get yourself some drinks. You know, fucking
whatever.
Buy a shirt, like whatever, dude. Like, but just take it, cause you fucking earned it. You know, you came out here, you brought some people, you rocked the fucking mic. You know, you killed your beat set. Like, I know you had to drive out here. I know you had to come out here. I know you probably already spent some money at the bar.
Yeah,
like take this fucking $20, please. Take this shit. Like you, I try to give you money all the time. You don't want to take it, you know. Like it's just like the only thing I can think of is like it's just like appreciation. That's like my sign of appreciation, you know. But I'm probably not gonna have that extra $20 for a minute. So thank you. I appreciate everybody who ever do. Like a lot of people come out for free. That's another beautiful thing. So it's like the sad truth, but it's also a beautiful thing that like people fuck with me. You know, they want to come out and they want to like rock and they want to be part of the movement. And they want they see what I'm doing. They like the way my social media looks. They like the content and like they want to be part of it. And like that's dope too. Like. Yeah, I fuck with people who rock with me for free, you know, because a lot of people just want to come out and do it, and yeah, they don't take the money or like they legitimately are just like don't care,
it's
or
the
they don't even
times
ask
too, bro. It's the times, bro. Think about it, like we're in a recession right now. You know what I mean? Like people out there are struggling. Like it's also not like it's gonna be a difficult time like the next few years in terms of where we are in the as a country, you know, like, and then the places that take the biggest hits for that kind of shit are always like, you know, Southeast LA and like, you know, all these places where that's where we actually see it in our friends and family and things like that, you know. 3 people having to work like full time to barely be able to pay like one rent type shit, you know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, so like, you know, and that, you know, it can be created by other things, but for us, how does it impact us? We can see it in our money. We can see it in other people's money, right? We can see it.
Right. I mean, yeah, like, I was doing a lot of stuff with schools for a minute, man. Like school dances, like little high school festival type stuff, you know, like little student appreciation stuff that like teachers were using, and then like a lot of that dried up, and I reached out and I was like, yo, like, I know we talked about doing more of these events, and they were like, oh, there goes that battery. This shit's gonna die.
Damn.
They were talking about how like the whole government shutdown, Trump tax thing had actually affected some of like the grant funding money that they were using to fund these like dances and these activities for the kids, you know. So like, yeah, directly see like what government issues, you know, like
how they come down to us,
the whole teacher strike thing, you know, like I fucking marched one day, you know, like rest in peace, Dark Side, fucking Mr. Amaya, you know, died of cancer, but he was a teacher, and like that whole struggle of like, you know, money not coming through, and then like not being able to do things for the kids because, you know, like they're the ones. The youth are always the ones who suffer, really. Yeah,
dude. It's always the youth, man. It's
they don't really get a say in shit. Dude. People are not really always making decisions thinking about them, you know. So like,
that's one of the hardest things of like being in South LA as a young person. You know what I mean? Like, some people don't understand that struggle. Like, from other communities. But then again, other communities are exactly like that.
And honestly, like, that's one of the reasons why I try to help as much as I can with that, because I know that I got a good shake of the dice, you know? I was really lucky that I got to do private school for, you know, kindergarten through freshman year of high school, you know, until like I really became a fuck up and had to go to public school because my mom was like, I'm not going to pay for your private education anymore. So like
Damn.
I got, you know, I benefited from that highly, like small class sizes, you know, high reading level.
I was in there with the the Wolverines and the fucking dude.
No, yeah, like, and you know, like my mom owns property, you know, like we don't rent, you know, so like there's a lot of things, there's a lot of privileges that I have that I know that other people don't. And like, you know, at first it was hard to like recognize all that stuff, but then again, like going to school and then coming back and having people check you and just realize that like not everybody can live like the way I live. So like that's why I'm always trying to like help, you know, because I know I got a leg up and a better shake of the deal. And
but
like,
even then, like I wouldn't think of it so much as like having a better deal than other people, because some people, like, you shouldn't judge people by where they come from. You should judge them for who they are, right? So some people will have everything and do nothing with it, you know what I mean?
But see, that's the thing though, a lot of who people are is where they come from. That person who had everything never knew what it was to struggle, didn't have, you know, never had to collaborate with people to get things done because they were able to get it done themselves. They had resources, so they never had to learn like how to cooperate and how to actually like learn to like work with people. And so when they get in places of power, they're basically like either sociopaths or narcissists or on the verge of some shit. And so they fuck people over, they take advantage, you know, they don't connect with the people.
Yeah, and in the same way, the people who grow up in the bad neighborhoods, of course, suffer
when they
all these other repercussions.
Yeah, but then when
you also get good lessons. You know what I mean?
You get character. You know?
You get I mean, I got these scars on my face, like, and you know, I consider them like stories of, you know, of life. You know.
Right.
So it's like when I think about that, I just think like I don't think it matters. Like there's a saying in Spanish, el pájaro es verde donde vuele, something like that. It's basically like the bird is always green no matter where it flies. It's like people, I think, are just kind of the way they are innately, you know? Like, if you were born as a freaking the son of a multi-billionaire, you know, magnate dude, I think you would still be sneaky, you know what I mean? Magnate. Yeah, you would. You'd be sneaky.
I was born to two beasts, like, you know, politician, community activist. Like, that's my pedigree, you know, fucking former mayors and, you know, like non-profit organizations, scholarship type shit where we just give to the community, you know. That's who I was born to, and that's who I am.
That's dope.
That's who I am, you know?
If there's a legacy behind your story, dude, that's an amazing thing to be able to, you know.
I mean, the legacy's not there yet. I'm trying to make sure that shit becomes a legacy, you know? Like, I'm trying to like make sure that it gets fucking written down in the
for me that's important, dude. You know? I think, you know, you bring up a really good point for people our age. Like, one thing that they're not thinking about is creating that legacy for their future, if they already don't have one, creating one for their future generations. Like, I came from like not knowing a lot of things about my family, you know. So
right.
So when I think about legacy, I think like I'm in this bike game, you know, and I'm gonna rock it, and I'm gonna give my skills to my brother, and then I'm gonna give them to my younger brother, I'm gonna give them to my sister, and then if anything happens, they always have something to fall back on, you know what I mean?
Right.
So like legacy is essentially like someone trying to like create like a pattern for like a structure for your family,
like a blueprint, you know, like a map.
Yeah.
Like a map that goes backwards that can show you the way forward.
Like exactly. Damn, Shneaky dropping that fucking damn.
So I think that's a perfect segue. I am a rapper. Nah, man.
You know your way around words, man.
Nah, but it's true, dude. It's true. Like, I mean, that's like another crazy thing. You want to talk about something crazy that happened at UC San Diego? Like, I had a roommate, and he was a political science major. And one day he shoots me a text that he's learning about my dad in class, bro.
That's crazy. So some accomplishment of his.
Yeah, because there was like it's like a little small piece that's basically like saying how like grassroots community organizing was able to like get the first Latino mayor elected into this position of power that basically caused the whole like landscape change. Where like if you ever go to City Hall in Huntington Park, they have all the pictures of the mayors. And it's just like white dude, white dude, white dude, white dude, white dude. My dad, first Mexican. And then you got like white dude, Latina, female, Mexican, Latino. And then it's just like you see like just like white and then bam, just broke open this whole like coalition of like, like people that vote and are engaged and like. And
dude, that's so crazy.
Yeah, dude.
HP is a trip. Every time I think about Huntington Park, I just think like, cause that's where like one of the first places my family like came when they came from Mexico. They ended up in HP, like near like the Florence area, and they tell me stories of HP like a long time ago when it was like. When they were first here, how it was majority white people, yeah. And so the terrain changes, and so does the politics, I guess, right?
I mean, a lot of places in Southeast LA used to have ordinances that said like you can't sell these houses to people that are not white.
Yeah, it's crazy. Another thing I trip out on LA history that a lot of people don't know of is the train tracks. So like Alameda, as it cuts through. Like, so everything on the other side of the tracks was white people, and everything on the other side of the tracks was everybody else.
Yeah.
And people forget that we had a crazy divide in the hood,
I mean, we still have a divide, but now it's like people self-segregate, in quotes, but it's basically because, like, that's where their culture's at, because that's where they were put in the beginning, they feel safe there or whatever.
Dude, that's so funny, the self-segregation.
But if you notice, dog, all the train tracks, and this is something that I learned before, like I learned this shit in high school when I was organizing with communities for a better environment. Like if you look at the map, like all the sources of pollution is where all the fucking brown people live, bro. All the people of color. Like we're surrounded by freeways, surrounded by train tracks, we're surrounded by Vernon,
Damn.
And that shit, the wind just blows all that shit this way. And then if you go look, we have fucking a bunch of like fast food liquor stores, and then as you drive, and you go to like better places that are like more white, and you find out they don't have any of that shit. Like you know?
See, for me, it's not so much to do with like whether you're white or black or brown in terms of how the ecosystem evolves. For me, mostly has to do with like when you, for example, like I've worked at a shop in La Brea, in the La Brea area, right? And it's a little community, and it's inside of like the Hollywood area,
West LA.
It's in there, and the crazy thing is like all around it is the hood, But as soon as you go to the La Brea area, then all of a sudden it's like almost 90% Jewish people. And like the businesses are all mostly Jewish owned. And the way that they run things is a very tight community. And I think personally, like when I look at a community have its defenses up like that, it almost makes me wonder like, wow, like our people are really stupid. They just let people just run in there and do what they want with their area. Like they didn't put up a defense, to keep the liquor stores out, to keep all this bullshit out, And I mean, some people are good at that. Like you go to Koreatown, who fucks with Koreatown? Koreatown is their shit. You go to Chinatown, who fucks with Chinatown? You go to Thai Town, who fucks with Thai Town?
I mean, I don't know enough about the history of those places, but I always feel like it's at some point like it's like a multi-level issue, or it's like class and wealth and economy.
Oh, guaranteed.
And like that kind of funnels into like education and resources.
Yeah.
Education leads to engagement and being able to actually like take action, or like being able to get like a better wealth situation so that you have more leisure time to actually be able to go and, you know, be involved and go to fucking council meetings and set up protests. Like,
it's a trickle. It's kind of a trickle effect.
It's kind of a privilege, you know. Like those people who have to go and protest and miss work, like the teachers who had to go on strike and like didn't have money. Like, it's a sacrifice that you have to make, and not everybody can make that sacrifice.
For sure,
they have to go to work. They have to pay their bills. They got medical issues. They have children. They have extended family that are living with them that depend on them. So it's like,
hard.
They're sending money back to wherever they came from to try to get them to be able to come here so that they can get into the same grind, you know? So it's like...
Yeah. But mostly everyone in this country was a migrant at some point, right? Pretty much everyone migrated here except for...
I mean, as if you're not indigenous...
Except for Native Americans,
if you're not indigenous to this land, I mean,
Yeah, so if you think about it...
But then some people could even claim that, like, you know, Mexicans... and like other people from Latin America are indigenous to these parts as well, you know, because
I believe that.
Yeah, so I don't know though. Again, I don't have the fucking data. Like,
no, it's accurate. I mean,
I went to school, but that doesn't make me fucking really informed on a lot of shit. You have to actually keep up with it and keep reading the research and the data and who's actually publishing and who's going over there and doing the count and taking the DNA test, you know, like who's funding all this shit. So it's like, it's hard to really keep up. But yeah, everybody who doesn't claim Native American or Native Indigenous status is technically an immigrant or children of immigrants, you know?
Yeah, so when
or the immigrants that came, mingled and created them. So I don't know. I don't know what happens with that, you know?
So let's say that the majority of the population of the country, which is... still now mostly white, right? They're the biggest migration, the biggest population that has migrated here, right? In terms of European colonization. So, and then we got like, you know, black people were brought against their will. And then Mexican people, they kind of just said, hey, I lived here this whole time. I'm probably just going to keep living here. You know what I mean? Like, they straight up just like, you know... So when you think about the groups and the group identities, like, and what they represent, you know, for me, it's like, I guess we're all kind of the same in terms of how, like I was saying, people put up walls, but that doesn't mean that what's going to always happen is a larger group, no matter what color they are, it's going to feel like an oppressive force. You know what I mean? So no, I'm not arguing that oppression doesn't exist. I think oppression is a contributor to our condition, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but, well, I mean, it all goes back to, like, tribalism, right? Primitive, like, when you get to the most basic human, basic ape, you know, like, kind of tendencies, it's all, like, we're tribal peoples, you know? Like, we look for differences, like, or even as humans, like, we're pattern recognition, right? We look for patterns, we look for differences, we look for things.
Absolutely.
We look for causation, you know, like...
Yeah, we call things, we give them descriptions because that's how it helps us understand
what they are. Right?
So we call negative emotions demons. That's like a description for what that is, right? Or we say God, or we say love. But like, you don't know what I think love is. You know what I mean?
Right. People experience things differently,
exactly,
right? Yeah.
So it's kind of, but yeah, man, like, fuck, we're going deep on this one tonight.
It's actually still the day,
still the day, bro. See, that's how you know we're usually out at night.
That's true. I don't remember the last time I saw you during the day.
I know, for real. Maybe at the Salo Festival.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So wait, how long ago was that now? I think it's been exactly a month.
A month, yeah. Crazy, dude.
I haven't seen you in the day for a month.
Man.
It's kind of crazy.
But yeah, and that event, dude, good thing you bring it up. That thing was also pretty dope. I think, like, the connection there between the community, and it's like, I grew up in that riverbed. Like, you could ask my mom.
No, a lot of people say that. A lot of people that were involved, you know, like, I think one of the dopest parts, sorry to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
But I think one of the dopest parts was that, like, you know, there was these dope ass graffiti writers who used to get busted for tagging and trying to do art in that riverbed, and now they were getting like paid to be there, you know, and able to like do their craft. And I thought that was like,
Yeah.
you want to talk about people reclaiming space and like,
Yeah, that's exactly a perfect example of that. So crazy, dude. Like, but man, like, I mean, I literally, cause you know there isn't much like, I like lizards a lot, and ever since I was a little kid, I've always looked for them. I've always hunted them and shit. You know, some weird obsession that I have.
I'm sorry, it's just I laugh because you have a bunch of fucking lizards in your house outside. Like I just posted a story about how like all your lizards, so I'm just laughing about like that lizard. Like yeah, fool, I could tell you like lizards, fool. You have a lot of them all over your house. You even like you breed worms and crickets so that you could feed them. And like you have eggs, you're gonna hatch. You're gonna have little.
Yeah.
You're gonna be a grandpa.
Yeah, I'm gonna hatch those motherfuckers and slang them.
You're fucking. You're wild. You're a wildly interesting human being, bro. I'm glad we connected, man.
I used
through
to
fucking house parties.
Dude, back
Brandon,
in the day,
it was Brandon.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, Brandon.
Shout out B Julius.
Shout out B Julius.
Thanks for
back
connecting us, bro. I feel like I work when I see you more than I see and work with him. So that's a testament to the network. The
Hell yeah, yeah. The old school network too. Yeah. But dude, I brought up the lizards because I was saying I used to go to the riverbed, like, cause in the hood, like, there's no area that's like openly like open space without too many humans going around it, you know. But the riverbed, like, if you ride your bike on there, which I always rode my bike on there as well. Yeah, because
you're a bike guy. Yeah.
I would see lizards on the rocks, so I would go there with a little fucking net and just like swoop those motherfuckers.
Catch lizards at the river.
Just for fun. I would let them go, you know, like, because they're wild, you know.
Right. You're not. Yeah. They would die. They would die.
Yeah. And they're too fucking crazy, dude. Wild animals, completely different from domesticated animals.
So like all lizards is right there. You bought them from a pet shop. They're like they're used to being in cages and shit.
Yeah, they're chill. They're like dogs. Yeah, it's exactly like dogs, dude. Swear to God. Like even the big lizard, like, it acts like a dog when.
But like if you get like a dog, they would run away if you put them out, right? And
exactly.
They would try to escape.
Oh yeah, they'd fucking book instantly. Yeah, nah. They're still like a slave technically. You know what I mean? Like they're in a box.
Yeah,
in my living room. You know, like so. Like,
I mean, you feed them and keep them warm or whatever, but
But a lot of them are now like endangered species. So actually, the bigger populations of these lizards now exist in the breeding and captive world. Yeah, so
because they're not even existing in the wild anymore.
Nah, because humans went and fucked up that whole whatever area they hung out at, you know. That's especially true for a lot of lizards, bro. Like, but you know what's crazy? That the rest of the world, all the lizards are dying. But in Florida,
they're thriving.
Yeah, dude. I don't know what, like, all of these people who bought these pet lizards, they let them go in Florida, and now they got a fucking problem. You know, it's like rodents. And
I think it was also I heard. I don't know where I heard this. It was probably a podcast. It's probably not even true, but I also heard like Florida gets hit with hurricanes, right? So some of these pet shops and like these preserves would get fucked up in the hurricane, and all these fucking things that people were buying to like have,
they would get fucking
they would escape because the hurricane like fucked up the enclosures and like the shit got wrecked, like
No, for sure, I could see that happening for sure,
bro.
Dude.
So it's like combination people releasing shit, and then they get hit with some storm.
Dude, there's a guy, bro. There's a guy. I'm gonna show it to you, bro. I'm gonna actually show this shit to you because it's so fucking funny.
I have no fire. I need fire.
Oh, here, I got you. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna show you the Iguana Man on YouTube, bro.
No.
Yeah.
What? No.
This fool catches iguanas.
Is this fool like your hero right here?
This fool eats them.
What?
The weirdest and wildest foods across the United States of America.
I don't want to watch this.
All right.
No.
He turns them into curry, dude. It's straight up.
I'm good, bro. I'm good. Miss me with that shit. No. Fuck that.
Why does he do it though? Why does he do it? Think about it. He catches iguanas because they're an invasive species.
Yeah.
And they're fucking up the ecosystem. And
I'm not tripping on what he does. I just don't want to see it. Is that cool? He's free to do whatever he wants. Just I don't want to see it.
Dude. Yeah, dude, the world is crazy. But we're getting sidetracked about iguanas now.
Yeah, so you used to catch lizards in the river.
Yeah, dude.
And trip out. It's like honestly,
and tag on it, of course. Yeah.
And
Dude,
that shit's
I busted a roller on there that was there for a really long time, a really long time, until I finally buffed it because it was way high up in the bridge. But dude, I don't know. I used to when I grew up tagging a lot, yeah. So I done my fair share of painting on that riverbed for sure. It was the only safe spot to go do that, you know, because like everywhere else there's risk. But you can go to the riverbed, have some beers.
Right.
Catch a spot, you know.
Right.
No one's in the trip. No one's gonna say shit.
Yeah.
You know, like it was a spot, dude. And that little park, Holidale Park, where the Sailor Festival was at, dude. That little park too. Like, we used to cross the bridge, and it was like, cause we had a thing in high school called the Spot, and everybody would go to this spot to chill, right? But then after we burned it out, because that's what we do at the time, you know, we just burn shit out. We burned it out. We had to go to the park. So we go to the Holidale Park, and that became the new spot. And
Right.
It's funny, right? Like our evolution. Like what?
Yeah, we used to go do fucking shit there, and now we can go and rock there, you know, every year.
Yeah.
And we're already planning the next one, so I want to get you involved for sure.
Yeah, man. Let me know. Lots of moves that we're trying to make this summer, and even after summer, really. You know?
Summer's already over, dog.
Yeah.
I'm already thinking of how I'm gonna survive the winter.
Damn, and bikes are the same way, dude. Bikes, like
They're hot.
they have
summer,
seasons. Yeah. They have seasons, so it just depends, like what you do, you know. Especially if you own a business, then it's up to you to like ride that wave, right? You know.
Yeah. Like I said, going back into acquisition mode, you know.
Yeah.
Hey, but getting back to the river though, a trip out that you used to catch lizards there, and like honestly, like that's like. The river is a great metaphor for like nature in LA, because that's technically like a natural environment, you know. Like after the river fest, we saw like ducks swimming and fucking birds would show up, you know, like seagulls.
And it got some fish in there that I wouldn't eat ever, but there's fish, there's birds, there's frogs. I've actually seen frogs down there.
Yeah,
too.
at night you could hear them croaking as you're riding your bike. You could hear.
Yeah, it's getting better. I mean, you know, it's just not as wild as it was. You know, 20 years ago, it was a wild, wild west, dude. Like, there was no regulations. People were just dumping shit everywhere. Like, no one gave a fuck about the environment.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, all of this, like, everyone's always like, oh, environmentalists.
Well, I mean, that's why it's really dope to work with. They
put in work, you know?
That's why it's dope to work with Anthony Rendon, you know? He's the Speaker of the Assembly. He's actually the one who, like, got that Cella Arts Festival, kind of like, he's the push behind it. And so, like, his whole thing is, like, to re-beautify the whole river and make it like green spaces. I'm talking about like building a bridge that goes over the river that's like a park and has like trees and like amphitheater, like some shit, you know, like instead of like for people, like they have bridges for fucking cars and shit. So they're like, I don't know, they're trying to like really think about interesting ways.
I think they've already started some work on that, like up north. Like,
well, that's the thing is like everybody always focuses on the northern part,
and people always
that's where all like the gentrification is at, and like the really big pushes for like that's where all the environmentalists and like that's where a lot of the attention goes, because people are already doing that work over there. So like a lot of the resources go that way, and Rendon's really trying to like put a fucking spotlight. Like he wants he's like the south part, you know, like from fucking Vernon, like right there on Slauson where the shit starts, like all the way to Long Beach, you know, like what can we do to like make that shit better? So
hell yeah, see, but
like you can go fucking kayaking on the northern part.
Yeah, you can now. Yeah, see,
why can't we fucking kayak? Whoa, bro, can I kayak all the way down to like Long Beach, man? What the fuck?
Go a little bit, but I mean, realistically though, too, at the same time,
I know.
I don't know if I want to be
facetious.
Kayaking past the fucking projects over there on, you know what I mean? I'm gonna come out with no kayak and no shoes.
You're a dick.
Nah, but there needs to be some, like, that's why that shit happens, you know, because nobody's working on it. No one gives a fuck about the area. Right. Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like that's why like these events are so important, because it gives people pride, and it brings attention, and it actually like it shows the possibility for a different way, right? Like
yeah.
Like we had to go, like, you know, there's a whole team that had to go and find the money for it. It took like a lot, and I'm pretty sure like people are still in the hole for it, and there's some people who are probably never gonna get paid, whatever. Like they're taking the hit like for the cause. But like when you do get resources put into an area that is so creative and has so much energy, and like where the bonds of the community are so strong that we can actually pull together and do this shit.
You know,
it just shows what's capable, and that like people need to like,
for real.
It's a start. It's a start. So like people, next year is going to be bigger. People are going to get more involved. We're talking about doing like possibly lead up events, to get people to get the word out, to make it more consistent, to get people to feel like there's like a whole change, it's like a wave of movement, and like it's happening in different parts, different venues, different people that I'm working with. Everybody's kind of getting on this mode of like, we got to change the system, like how this whole thing works, and like why people, how to bring people together for a cause, and like how to like include education, how to include like,
I'll be honest with you, people are not really educated financially. You know what I mean? Like they make the wrong moves like all the time, and I think that's one of the things that would help out the communities too. And I'll give you one example. Like you just said like how everything connects and everything is like part of one thing and all, right? Like right. So like people notice the things, everything you just told me to look out for. Like, hey, look out for when, like you see an area that is up and coming and is cracking, and keep your eye out on this. Like other people from outside of the area, they're also doing that. So what they do, and this is what people call gentrification, is they also see the same potential that you do, right? And they invest in it. So now the question is, who is allowed to invest in what particular areas, Because the more people get interested, the more investors, the more expensive it becomes. And then eventually the people who live there, who created it, will no longer be able to live there.
Right.
They'll get outpriced. So, and that is capitalism. That is the system we live under. That's how it functions,
Well, I feel like personally, like, then this might be super radical left wing hippy dippy of me or whatever, but I feel like some kind of rent control, obviously imposed, possibly could be a quick fix, right? We're like, okay, you want to come in and invest, cool, but that doesn't mean you're gonna be able to like just raise the prices and like get more money out of it. Like the investment's gonna go to like building up this community for the people who are here, right?
Yeah,
that's one thing.
What about this?
Or you want to come in and raise prices and bring people and make money? Well, then a fraction of that money is gonna have to go to pay the rent for these other folks who are trying to stay here, who, because you're making more money, now they can't. So your money that you're making, piece of that is going to go to help to this rent control or to this whatever. I don't know how the bureaucracy would work. Yeah, and again, it's like big government, and people are like, that sounds fucking crazy.
Yeah, some people don't like the idea of big government. Yeah.
But I feel like, if there was some kind of like community board and some kind of like politicians and people like investors get like some kind of third party moderator and can actually like hash out like what that deal would look like. Come on, you put enough people with interest that have like self-interest in a room and tell them to like come to a compromise to make it all work.
They'll do it.
They're gonna do it. But
nobody wants to compromise at the moment.
But those rooms never get opened. Like those rooms never get created. Like how often are people actually invited to the table, to the conversation, when people are making these decisions about money and how to profit and where their investments are going to go? Like how often do you bring in like local community activists or, the fucking senora that lives down the street, like.
Yeah. And that's a good point. I mean, seeing as like, I wouldn't necessarily veer into the same thought, but for me, a good middle ground would be like, old Yang boy. I know, Andrew Yang. So he, like the way that he kind of wants to supplement like a $1,000 income for everyone.
Which I'm all Yang Gang, for sure.
Yeah, see. So, you're Yang Gang?
I'm Yang Gang, for sure. Yeah. I'm voting Yang. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, see, and, out of all the candidates that are in the Democratic Party or in the Republican Party, for that matter, that are coming up, I mean, Bernie Sanders is a little too, like, on the,
I mean,
off the edge.
I fuck with his policy. Like I heard him on Rogan, and I was down for Bernie at the last election.
The last one, yeah.
He obviously got robbed in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? Like
for sure,
yeah. So like, his whole
Dude,
whole questions of electability and whether or not he can win, I think like they're valid at this point. He's like really old.
Yeah, if you look at
he's
like,
super lefty. I
yeah.
don't think he could win over
exactly
right people on the right. So like when you want to think about who's gonna win, yeah, cool. I can see why maybe it's not Bernie.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about.
I'm definitely not voting for Joe Biden though. Fuck that. Like if they make him the candidate, that's gonna be an issue for a lot of people too. You know, so
for sure.
I like Andrew Yang. I think he resonates with a lot of people on the right. He resonates with a lot of people who voted for Trump. You know, a lot of people don't like that. You know, they think that's a negative. But I feel like if you're talking about electability and someone who's going to try to bring the country together, is going to do the opposite.
You know what I find pretty crazy though? I find it like pretty wild that up until this point, no one has ran for presidency like with a centrist point of view. You know what I mean? Like there's been like it's been a pendulum since the beginning of time. It's always been like, you know, Democrats, Republicans, you know, like George Bush, you know, like Ronald Reagan, George Bush, Bill Clinton, George Bush. You know what I mean? Like it just always going back and forth between Republican, Democrat. It's like the perfect like hustle in my opinion. Like when you look at politics and kind of how it's run. So, you know, Trump like beats Obama. Like what more of a funny, weird ass right wing character could you think of than Ronald Reagan? Oh, Donald Trump, he's like the perfect fucking fit, you know? And before that they had Obama, and then now who's gonna replace Donald Trump? Probably another minority. I guarantee it. Like I'm pretty sure the Yang is gonna win.
It's either Yang or Kamala Harris. I feel like.
Nah, I don't know why. Like
I don't know.
He's like the underdog to me, and I always root for the underdog. Maybe that's what it is.
I don't know I don't know about Kamala, you know.
But I don't vote though. But you know.
Wow.
Yeah, I never have and I never will. Yeah.
Hey man, I feel like then we can't really talk about politics because if you're not voting, then you really have a say. Like your opinion is not valid to me, bro.
Yeah,
like,
but it is because you know I've analyzed this more. I've analyzed this so much to the point that I decided to keep away from voting, as opposed to those people who don't even know politics and vote anyway, and just vote for the lesser of two evils. You know. So, but
at some point, like. I don't know. We don't have to argue about this, but I just feel like if you're gonna try to like the shit that you do online, like if you're gonna be putting out like points like that,
yeah,
and like stirring the pot, but you don't even vote, it's like you don't get a say, bro. Like you don't vote, so like why? Like
I see what you're saying.
Like if you actually cared the way you say you cared, you'd actually go put your vote for someone who you think can make that happen. You know.
But here's the difference for me, I guess. I simply do not believe that our vote actually matters.
Right.
You know, it's like for me, I don't believe the system capable of actually like I don't believe I have an influence in anything because I don't think that the system is created for you to have the ability to change the government. The government is here to run us. We don't run the government. You know what I mean?
But that's not the principles that the government was founded on.
No, it was not. That's a deviation. Yeah, that's corruption.
So we definitely should like be doing something
to change that.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Like, but I don't think voting is the answer to change it.
But I feel like there's like a whole new like the new Democrats or like the new politicians. Even some fools on the right starting to make sense sometimes, you know? Nah. Like they're starting to say shit that's not so batshit crazy, you know? And it's just like I feel like the young people who lived through what we lived through, like you and I, like the whole swinging that you're talking about. I feel like the people who grew up in that, who probably are seeing the same shit that you saw and feel the same way you feel, they're trying to go out and become the politicians now.
So you think that this whole thing might get rocked by the new generation?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, you think they might come in and
I
just
feel like
it?
Because at some point it's like, I mean, I've seen it like at the local level, right? Like I know, like
I would say that
I know these young.
I should be more specific. I'm okay with voting in local democracy, sure, and
because you feel politics. Like it influences
because
you more,
it actually
right?
does something.
Yeah,
like,
okay.
Yeah, to my environment, but also it's somewhere where I should be voting. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, though. Like, I feel like had Trump not got elected, like I feel like I felt a direct impact from the Trump presidency directly. I felt it.
No, dude,
directly.
a lot of people feel the same way.
So I feel like had that not happened, yeah, maybe Hillary wouldn't have been a good president. Maybe some other shit would have gone down. But I feel like the direct impact that I felt from Trump would not. I don't feel like I would have got a similar impact from a Hillary presidency.
Oh, dude, she would have rocked it, bro. Like in a bad way. She would have been on some gang shit, dude.
I don't know, bro. I don't. You know what though? I feel like
they
she
just
wouldn't.
Got her
I feel like
Libya.
I feel like she wouldn't have came after minority communities. I feel like we wouldn't be having these ICE raids,
bro. I think she would have come harder.
I feel like the tax cuts wouldn't have gone down like that.
I think they would have got worse.
I don't know, bro. I don't know. See, this is all hypotheticals.
Yeah, it's all hypothetical.
When we're obviously like
that's why this is a fun conversation.
We're obviously on two opposite sides of this idea, but I just feel like that's just my personal opinion, you know. So like I feel like in that sense, had people actually voted,
you think there might have been lesser damage?
Well, because I feel like the reason why I was so strong about you not having is because I hear people complain about Trump who didn't vote. So,
okay, I see.
They complain about Trump, but they didn't actually go cast their vote for the opposite of Trump. They just fucking sat around and waited to see what happened, and now they're fucking sitting around complaining.
That was her argument for beating Bernie, right?
And they're probably not gonna vote the next time.
Yeah,
because then they're just talking shit and they're not actually doing anything about it. So like,
I remember,
shut the fuck up.
That's what they told Bernie Sanders voters, right? They told him like, hey, if you don't vote for Hillary, you're taking away from the Democratic vote or whatever, right? Like you have lesser chance to beat Trump or whatever. So that was like a Hillary Clinton used that as a strategy.
Yeah,
to
and it
move
didn't work.
Bernie out.
And it didn't work.
Yeah.
It didn't work. People were pissed.
People were mad that she said that.
I feel like people just voted for Trump because they were mad. I swear, fool. I swear.
Hey, but they did catch her on the candid cameras in Gravitas saying some crazy shit. Like,
hey, bro, I'm not denying she's batshit crazy. Like, I feel like anybody who's trying to run for president is probably batshit crazy. Like Andrew Yang probably has.
You think he has some skeletons down there?
Maybe not skeletons, but I'm pretty sure. Like maybe his crazy is like on that Elon Musk like positive crazy, like where he's just like he thinks he could fucking give people $1,000. Like that shit's crazy, right? But give people $1,000. I'm gonna fucking create all this shit.
Actually, you see, I think that policy is fine.
No, I mean I do too. I think it's logical. I think he lays it out. But to even think about doing that, like to even imagine the foresight to imagine that, to envision that, to build a whole platform around it. It's crazy. Like you have to be a little crazy to be able to think of something that dope. You know, like
that shit want to actually run with it. That shit
doesn't come from like a super stable, sane mind who doesn't think outside the box and who's always like looking at all. You know, it comes from someone who has a little fucking tweak in there, a little spark that's not like normal. You know,
it's
like some visionary shit.
You gotta take risks sometimes. You know. And you gotta see what happens, right? Like, so this life is just made of risks, you know. So, and I don't. His policy is all right. I mean, he's. I don't actually see anything detrimental, like to any side. Like one thing that Andrew Yang says that I think is kind of dope. He's always saying, like, it's not left or right. It's forward. It's forward. Yeah. It's forward. So like, you know. And I'm not. I mean, I'm not gonna vote for him, but you know, like
because you don't vote, so this conversation doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? Like it doesn't even matter what you care. So like I don't even care to hear what you care about because you're not even gonna make it happen.
All right, bro. Man, but hey, spark that second.
I don't have a lighter, dude.
Let me go get you one. Hold on.
You know what?
Talk to everybody.
Can you play one of my videos while you do that?
Hell yeah.
And we'll go get a lighter and come back. Yeah. I see. Because you went to go look at this fucking iguana guy, and you don't have my shit queued up.
Hey, the iguana man. Did you see him right there?
Yeah, the first one. This is the latest one I just put out. It's been a while already, but you know, it's still dope.
Hell yeah.
Shot by my homie Ig Nasty from San Diego. Shout out Iggy. Look at the homie right there with the hat.
Hell yeah. All right, I'm going to get you that spark.
For sure.
Get yourself together, baby. Get yourself yourself together, baby. Get yourself together, baby. Get yourself together, baby. Get yourself together, baby. Get yourself together, baby.
I come from a family of love and education. Made bad decisions, put myself
What
in
park is that?
situations. Been to the
Salt
brink
Lake.
of self-annihilation.
On
Brought
Florence.
back on track.
Yeah, I
singing
skated
for
there
the
before.
Congregation of souls at my shows, witness to my salvation. Used to sell anything from meth to medication. Dropped out of school, trying to make it with my skill set. DJ, MC, and I had to get that pussy wet. Drop a couple CDs and DJ sets, trying to get my name
Damn.
up. Standard that my father said, let's not forget. That's what this all started with. Blessed with words, so I use my gift. Trying to get it together, finding a better way to live. Asking for forgiveness and learning how to forgive. Moving on in my day, not holding on to regrets. Live life in the moment, refusing to let it slip. Get yourself together, baby.
Look how big I was, dude.
Were you vegan at that time?
Hell no.
The way you acting is crazy. Oh shit, I'm up grabbing at the fucking steering wheel. Windshield crack, airbags deployed, whack. How could this happen? I start to think back.
Who filmed this for you?
The homie Ignasty, the dude, the Asian cat with the hat.
For sure.
Back to the popo, asking why
his
I
homie
fell asleep.
was filming
It's
this shit
4
too.
a.m. and I gotta be up by 7. See, one of the many lies I've given to the sea.
That's my homie Abe.
No, I'm not
One of the homies from high school. We used to go to that park. He used to jump over me with his board at that park.
Sick ass.
I
busted myself off that little fucking stair set right there.
Like Shneaky the
Destro,
MC,
Demise.
thirsting on the girls and making them wanna leave. Get it fucking together if you wanna succeed. You're the only one holding yourself back from your own dream. Get yourself together, baby.
That shit used to be Cafe Cashmere. That's my homegirl's barbershop.
That's Southgate?
Yeah, the social club. Shout out the homegirl Izzy, the social club.
Get yourself together, baby. The way you acting.
Sick ass food.
Get yourself together.
That's the Allen Theater right there.
Is that reopened now?
No.
No?
Get yourself together.
But me and my boy used to play shows there, so I thought, you know, it's like a throwback. Like this shit's all about like where I come from, you know.
Hell yeah.
The way you acting is crazy. Get yourself together, baby.
Trying to make it seem like I was young, you know.
I'm not gonna get copyrighted for playing this, right?
Nah, shouldn't.
Together, baby. The way you
Well, they'll ask me if you have permission. I'll say yeah.
Yeah, see, that's what I mean.
Yuri's right there, the Allen Theater, that's the marquee right there. My homie's literally backing up, about to get hit by cars and shit to get the shot.
you acting is crazy.
You graduated 07, you got the 07 shirt on.
That's when I graduated from high school, yeah.
Crazy. We're old, man.
I'm fucking I just turned 30, my boy.
What the fuck? Bro, you don't want to stop.
Yeah, nah, I can't stop, won't stop.
Yeah, man. What else you got for us?
Shit.
Let's hit some plugs.
You want to see something else, or you want?
No,
what do
let's
you want
see.
to talk about?
Because I know, like, are you planning another Redwood soon?
Yeah. That shit happens every second Friday of the month, till forever, till the day I die, I guess. Hopefully, by the time I die, someone else is doing it.
Here, I'll pull up some of that so we can check out some previous stuff for all the new listeners who don't already know Shneaky and don't know about the Redwood Room.
Oh, you're probably gonna have to go to Sneaky Ant for that one.
Oh, I see. Oh, and now that's it. Oh, wait, that's
the Stella Arts Fest. That's the Redwood Room right there.
yeah. So I mean, oh yeah, you do separate it, huh?
Yeah, I try. What's the point of having two Instagrams if they're gonna be the same shit? You know, I try to keep the content different. Official
So-
Sneaky's more personal. You know, it's like my life and
Oh, I
like my
got you.
journey and shit when I perform. And
Shneaky
then
Ant is
it's
yeah.
like DJ gigs, flyers. You know.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I took some of these pictures, right?
I think like most of them. Which I
Yeah.
appreciate, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's hard to like get that window into like what we're doing there, like, cause like you see me like on the board and shit, like how am I gonna be taking photos and shit while I'm trying to like make sure everything sounds dope. I'm performing, I'm hosting.
That's why when I'm taking pictures, I'm always thinking, like, cause I wish people would take pictures of me, you know. So the places where I want to send these people, like that's where I'll go to, like, oh, Shneaky probably wants a picture from here, you know, bow, you know. So it just takes a little bit of that
vision, dude. Yeah, definitely.
But this dude right here too. What was his name again? Aleph. Yeah, with those paintings.
Dude, that fool is dope.
Dude.
He's like some next level Buddhist spiritual cat. I fuck with them.
So yeah, man, Redwood Room. We
so
take
the next
pictures.
one actually go up. So right there, now the couple right there, yeah. So Betsy Gifted is actually having her beat tape release at the Redwood Room in
sick.
September. It's actually Friday the 13th. So we're going to have pretty dope lineup. A lot of cats, Face and Barlos, Destruct, Maya.
Tight.
I may or may not perform. Betsy may or may not perform. We might have a couple of special guests that we haven't confirmed yet. But, yeah, that shit's happening.
Dude, I made this video right here, 2 of that, I think, of the beat making. See if I can pull that motherfucker up.
It's right there. Go down.
This one.
Was it that one?
Yeah, check it out.
Make some noise if you feel dope.
That's Contra.
Hell yeah, killed it. That's my new light gig. Rare gig. Shneaky on the light board.
Yeah, you're doing the lights.
Dang, your camera picks up good audio.
Yeah, let's get one.
Sometimes I take a separate mic recorder thing.
I'm living in the dream, and it seems that I'm ripping this shit up at the seams. I'm sewing it up like I'm cutting through the beams. Man, I'm traveling on live beams.
I just thought this freestyle was dope. That's why I cut it in there.
I thought it was not on point.
I thought it was natural, you know?
Universal, plug into me.
And you had a little hype crowd, you know? Yeah, when there's a little hype crowd, you know?
Yeah. They were pumping me up. It's like people fuck with me, you know? It's cool. It's dope.
And hell yeah, man. So
yeah, Redwood every second Friday. We try our best to, like, you know, curate dope artists, dope vibes, like an experience, you know? I got the lights up. I got a better sound system. I'm trying to really bring in. We got affordable drinks, you know? Fucking roaming photographer.
Hey.
Remember that shit from the clubs? Roaming photographer.
Oh, I know. We used to put that on every flyer. Oh, roaming or photo booth or roaming photographer. Like,
I used to always try to bring a photo booth, have some kind of like setup, you know, like where I, like a backdrop.
Well, you still have the little backdrop, right?
Yeah, just it's not like a booth, you know. Like there's not just someone right there just taking pictures of everybody standing in front of it, or like, you know, those photographers used to hustle. They'd be like, "Hey, come take a photo," you know, and then they'd be like, "Oh, here's my card," you know, like follow my website. I'll post them up.
Yeah,
check it out.
The only evolution of photographers that I've seen lately is EDM photographers, and they basically just go out, take pictures for like the DJs for the whole night, and then they sell the pictures to the guy throwing the party or whatever. So they have a little bit of a hustle. Yeah, so there's like a few parties, you know, where the same photographer is always there working that party. So I've run into some stuff like that. Videographers probably make more money than photographers these days.
Hell
you know what I mean?
That shit's it's more work too.
Yeah,
it's
more editing and shit like that.
It's more memory, more gigs you're taking.
For sure, dude. Like even saving one of these podcasts is like,
dude, that's one of the
500
snags.
megabytes.
Some of the snags I hate with my podcast is that like I was shooting it from my phone in 4K from just like one angle, and I uploaded the shit to my computer. And it crashed because it was like an hour-long 4K. It was like 20 gigs.
Damn.
And my laptop just crashed, bro.
You tried to play it on there and
I
it
tried
just
to
gave
edit
up?
it on the laptop.
Damn.
And I couldn't. It was too large.
Dude.
So I had to like, I downgraded to like 720 to like, you know, save some space. But like, I'm going to have to like edit it in the studio computer. I got to learn Final Cut Pro. You know, it's just like a whole different it's just like a different workflow. And it's kind of been fucking up my podcasting right now because I want to continue the video portion, you know?
For sure, yeah. And yeah, sometimes that's what having good equipment, like as a DJ, you know, it comes down to it a lot of times. Are you prepared, you know? You got all the cables, do you have your speakers, do you have like all the shit you need, you know?
Yeah. Podcasting is the same way and shit. Yeah. Gotta
Same
have
shit,
everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some of the caps that can be put on you, like when you're like trying to like do stuff, you know.
Luckily, I have a dope team, La Clica Podcast. Like, you know, the main head Rick, fucking has been working really hard to like give me everything I need. He's gonna build a table for me. Like, it's just, he's really trying to cater so that I could like really start pumping out the content and build, because I'm part of their network now. And I'm gonna be coming out under their umbrella. It'll still be R&R, but it'll be like put on by La Clica, you know.
I see what you're saying. Hey, that's a good idea. It's a good collaboration effort. Yeah.
Well, they're way more consistent at it than I am, you know. And I'm hoping to like release all my old episodes once I have the new episodes, so that it'll be like we'll get, you know, some traction. Yeah. I'm trying to build up the Instagram account still. I'm lagging it on that. It's just a lot going on, you know.
No. You just gotta put in the work, you know. Yeah, this is what it's about.
No, and I'm really trying to like. I'm trying to get back in that really hustle mode where I'm not doing like the laying around, listening to podcasts and doing nothing, but like starting to like rap again and really editing and like pumping the podcast, because I feel like a lot of that's going to help to get bigger audiences and more gigs and like more content. And it's just like I got to get back into that hustle mode. I got kind of like I kind of got lazy over the summer, you know, but winter's coming and like it's time to get hungry again and shit, you know.
I feel that. Nah, I mean, yeah, we're all just trying to, you know, trying to get by, trying to make shit happen. So, like,
but like, I feel like you gotta take that time too, you know. Like, you can't be going fucking 100 miles per hour all the time, redlining nonstop. You know what they say? Can't.
You're only young once, right? So, I'm gonna ride my bike for as long as these knees will let me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you gotta like do the century ride every weekend.
Why not? Hey, let's do it.
That's actually one of my goals, to do it before, like, you know, like I was trying to do it before I turned 31, but that's probably not gonna happen. But yeah,
a bike ride 100 miles.
Yeah, so like
I've done that already. Yeah.
In the next 5 years, I'm gonna give myself 5 years to like get in shape. You know, like I did the vegan thing. I'm gonna start working now.
Have you ever skateboarded before?
No.
You never rode a skateboard?
I mean, yes, but not well.
Have you ever done anything in the park where you can ride like kind of vert?
No.
Rollerblading, biking, nothing like that?
Nah, I used to fall.
Yeah. Because one thing I was going to suggest, dude, mountain biking, bro. That shit's dope. Like, that's like, I spent some time doing that for sure, and money on that project. Like, mountain biking is the shit, bro. Like,
I'd rather do some like long distance shit, you know.
Oh, it can be long distance.
Nah. That shit just sounds like way more intense. Like,
yeah, but it's fun, dude. It's kind of like skateboarding, you know, or like surfing or any of these activities where you're in control and you kind of master the terrain type shit. You know?
I feel you. No, I'm not. That's not. No, I can ride a bike.
You can ride a bike.
That's about it.
All right.
I can't. That's about it. I can't do anything else.
But hey, road biking, dude, or just biking to work, you know, that's like.
I need gear to go to work usually.
Oh, no. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, this is my job.
Hey, fuck it. Put speakers on your bike. Nah, I'm just playing.
Imagine. No.
I got one of those.
Or like a trailer. I got like a little wagon, or like a wagon that connects to my bike, and I could drag my fucking QSCs around.
Look, I'll show you, bro. I actually have a speaker bike that I built.
I'm scared. Tengo miedo.
It's in the garage. Dude, I'm retarded. I'm over here misspelling shit.
Bro, how do you misspell your own name? You like you missed the U.
It's this damn keyboard. It's like wireless, so it's not really. I have to put it up here for it to get signal.
Or like, are you high?
Or that. Yeah, man.
FusionWorkshop.com.
Yeah, this is my old bike shop.
Got you.
So I have a gallery. I haven't taken this shit. I probably should take it down now that it doesn't exist. It saved me like some money at the end of the year too. But where's that shit at? Look, I built.
Or you could always add the gallery to just like your photography page.
I guess I could, right? Like just keep it as a little side project.
Yep.
Oh, there it is. Look, this shit has lights, and it carries 2 hard key What the fuck?
Oh, you
change?
did that auto shit.
Yeah.
Slideshow, bro. You're on that slideshow mode.
I gotta pause that motherfucker though, or it's gonna keep sliding.
There you go.
Yeah, and so I built like the controller in the back. It has like Bluetooth and all this shit. And the drivers, they're the aluminum cone ones from the bass amps, the hard keys, like the bass cabinet for playing bass. Yeah, those speakers came from a bass cab because they're super efficient. Yeah, they use the least amount of energy because they're light, And then the amps inside, I'm totally into speakers and shit too. So like I can wire up anything, and like.
Are you good? Like, can you do the electrician part too?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
my amp,
I fix monitors and everything for people. Look.
Nah, my amp is tripping out. You think you could take a look at it?
Absolutely, dude. We take all this shit apart and wire it up for you. This is what my bike. That's why it was called Fusion Workshop because we also
because it was a
on
workshop
yeah.
on it, working on other shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
We did all kinds of shit.
Now I know the name and your big fuse.
Yeah, nah. My old tagging name from when I grew up was Fuse, so I just kept it on my Facebook tag, and people still know me as that.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? More than even my actual name sometimes. But
I know you as Occult. I don't
yeah.
even know your real name.
But yeah, now I'm DJ Occult. Fuck all that bullshit.
I don't know your real name.
For real, I didn't know that what your name was till much later. I was like,
That's actually
Shneaky?
the homie that shot the video right there.
Oh, this fool right here?
And that's his boy. His boy was doing the camera work. Right at for this shot, it was actually set up on a tripod.
Oh, I see.
Because they're also
with a timer.
Because they're also it was just recording. Because they're also dancers. So I was like, they do b-boying and shit. So that's why I was like, I want y'all to be dancing and shit.
Yeah, that
video.
always looks tight on video. Hell yeah, man.
But they because it was on a tripod, I feel like the shot, kind of suffered. But it was dope. The video was dope, and it was all like super organic. Like they came up on Sunday morning. We went over the concept, showed them the song.
Yeah, it took one whole day.
I showed them my other videos and like other stuff that I had done, and kind of like the quality I was looking for, and like kind of like the style, and then they shot it, and just one day, and then they bounced, and then like a month later I got the copy.
Hell yeah, that's dope, man. Yeah, I mean, was there some other content that you wanted to showcase? I know you got a few videos, right?
I mean, fuck it, yeah. Your audience can see my old shit. So
where you at? Right here.
Yeah, why not? So this is from what, 2013.
Yeah, some vibes.
My favorite part is rap. When I get to rock with the band, it's like a totally different experience. Yeah, it's like spiritual.
They call me Shneaky man, trying to walk the land with a brew in hand, but the man got something else for his plan.
What mural is that? Where's that?
Down, slam me against the ground, and my hands are bound. Can't be found, cause I'm not lost. Tried to destroy me, but at what cost? Trying to melt the frost, and you watch the ages upon us. Never be gone.
It actually, my tattoo artist actually, him and a homie did that shit the night before.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for the video.
Where's it at though?
It's City Terrace. It's like overlooking the 10 freeway. It's up on the hills of City Terrace.
For sure.
It got buffed though. It's not there anymore.
Yeah, I always wonder, like, when the buff guy goes, does he think, like, should I buff
Does he
this?
feel bad
Does
about
he feel
it?
bad about it?
Well, I think it was there for a long time, bro. So I'm
Or
pretty
are
sure
they just
felt
like
bad.
rude ass cappers? Like, ah, ha, ha, fuck this.
I don't know. I feel like it was there for a long time, bro.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Because I went back into the photo shoot like after the fact, and it was still there.
Oh, so you use it for more than one project?
I mean, it was the same project, kind of content, It's the Shneaky project.
I'm not an addict.
That's pretty
I'm
tight.
an addiction because I live my life non-fiction. Plenty of friction rubbing me on me.
Yeah, like if you go to my other videos, there's there's like a behind the scenes of this video with like with a remix of the song. Check out let's see, go to videos, see what's up top. Bam. See if we can find it real quick. Oh, this is gonna be bad. Go down. Keep going.
Hey, you be uploading all kinds of shit on here.
Well, I kept the podcast is on here too.
Yeah.
That's why. Then I did a vlog for a little while. That shit was dope. All right, so the Anthem music video promo. Check that one out. Next one, yeah. So the quality's not as good, and I did like the editing myself and shit, but it kind of shows you what that wall looked like. And then I got like really stoned and drunk and fell asleep at one point. So then when I woke up, I started recording again when it was almost done. So we asked my boy Inspired One and his homie Raul. I forgot what he goes by.
How long so it just took him one day?
Well, like, yeah, like 12, like it's like a full 24 hours, or it's like 12 hours, something like that.
It's pretty tight. I want to see the progression real quick. Oh shit, that's already the video.
Yeah, I'm telling you, because like I fell asleep.
Shit you never heard of. Some of it is so absurd you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Not a soldier, not a player. Didn't make the rules, I'm breaking them.
Yeah, dude, just a camera that can capture lower light.
Yeah.
And you're
Well,
set.
look at the year, bro. You know.
Yeah, 2013.
Yeah, so I didn't know shit about content. You know.
No, but even if you look at like high production value shit from this era, like it's all kind of similar, like in terms of quality, you know.
Yeah.
Like digital cameras sucked ass in those days. Like go watch PD Pablo or fucking Paul Wall music videos, and they're always all fucking just like little and bad quality and shit, you know. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. But
so I asked you before the podcast, and you said you wanted to talk about it on air. So like, what's your goal or your purpose? Like, what's the point of the podcast? Like, are you like, is this? Do you want to eventually get like advertisers and try to like start getting paid for this shit, or is this just like create a platform, or are you trying to like, is this the new fusion? What's
you can think of it as trying to create a platform for sure. Yeah. So, as you know from doing things like Redwood Room, like when you give people a place to be able to express themselves in longer format, it kind of helps like everyone know that that's what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, so it's a good way for us to communicate, like, and spread ideas faster, so that we can think of better projects faster, you know? So, I don't know. It's and then also, the podcast, for me, I'm probably going to use it as a way to have side projects as well, you know? And include different things. So, I'm also kind of interested in live streaming at live shows, like at, the last time I tried it at Redwood Room, right. But we had a technical difficulty with the fucking Wi-Fi, but, so, yeah, I've been wanting to try it with that, but also, just as many ways. Yeah. But, so at Redwood Room, yeah, that live stream did not go well.
You know what? No, that's not the first time we tried live streaming something, and that first time didn't go well either. But they live streamed for the last one, I think.
Oh, really?
For the battle?
Who was able to live stream on there?
No, it wasn't the last one. Was it the last one?
Yeah, and I know also
it was 2 months ago
La
already.
Clica podcast also had a live stream.
Oh,
as
no, they
well,
just
right?
recorded.
Oh, just recorded.
Yeah, they
Okay,
released it
gotcha,
later. Or they never released
Yeah.
it because it was really bad.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
It was just
yeah.
like picking up too much.
too much sound.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and like the levels weren't right because like it was like loud in there.
Yeah,
and shit,
like
yeah.
if you have that many mics in one area, it has to
It's
be
like-
dead quiet.
yeah,
Yeah. No, yeah.
And there wasn't like an engineer actively like, oh, no one's using that mic, so let me just like turn it off, right? It's just,
Oh,
like all
yeah.
the mics were just like up and hot, so it was like.
Yeah, that's unfortunate because that
I
was
mean,
kind
that
of
show
a
was
cool little
cracking.
show.
Yeah, it was cracking. These everybody was wasted. You know, that's
Mm.
kind of the downside of doing shit at bars sometimes.
But a live stream of the event that would be something, right?
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
Like I want separate cameras. I want to be able to kind of. So by creating a platform, like when I go places, I offer services. You could say like I take pictures, I can edit videos, I can DJ, I can do different things, right? So what I'm doing is I'm essentially that would be like another side project, you know, coming off of that. So,
I feel you.
yeah.
I feel you. So that's how it all connects.
Yeah, exactly.
I
yeah.
got you.
Yeah. So a little bit of a plan, nothing too crazy.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, I feel you. Well, man, however I can
Yeah.
help, man, just let me know.
But it would be nice to kind of, so some of the hope. I've had a guy talk about doing ayahuasca here in the previous episode.
What?
And
Who's
then,
that?
One of my homies who moved up to SF as well, and I met him up there. Yeah, so we're both from Southeast LA,
And then you both
but we
moved,
both moved up there,
but not together.
Not together. No.
You both moved up separately,
Yeah,
and then found each
and
other.
found each other
That's
there,
pretty,
yeah.
dude. That's some
Yeah.
universal shit right
Yeah.
there.
For real, right? Like he just
That's-
came in the store. I was like, "Yo, what's up?" And then like that was it.
He's like, "Oh, you're from the hood."
Oh, like you can smell him
He
out.
smelled you. I was thinking you could smell. Oh, Southeast LA.
No, yeah, but hey, it was crazy being up there for a little while. You know, lots of interesting experience to say the least. You know, the city is fucking way different than down here. Has
Dude,
its
I mean-
pluses and minuses. You know.
I was up there for a couple days, and like my biggest takeaway is like, I feel like they respect green space and art way more in SF. I feel there's more green spaces, and they're like kind of built, like the city's built around green spaces,
That's correct.
and I
yeah.
feel like there's more places for like street art and murals and shit, and they're actually like respected, and it's like, I feel like I saw more art. You know,
There's
over there.
definitely a lot of that. There's a high element for being able to do different things without it getting so much like resistance. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it allows for some weird, like San Francisco is made by all the mom and pop shops like me who went up there to set up a shop. You know.
How
of
long were
some
you there
dope
for?
shit. I was there for like 4 years, and then I ran the shop for 2 years. Yeah. So. Yeah.
So
a
you
little
went
while.
up there. You went up there without running the shop. You were just working up there.
Yeah.
Or
so
you
I went
closed
out
the
there.
shop.
No, I went out there. I sold this shop, right? And I cashed out, and then I moved up there, and then instead of trying to do another shop, that'd be too crazy, right? So like I just came back from doing that. So I just worked at a few different bike shops and racked up my chips until I was able to open up another bike shop. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. So that's how yeah.
So you've been like the bike mechanic has been like your trade. Like that's what's been paying this shit.
For sure, yeah.
That's crazy, dude. I had
Yeah.
no idea, man.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you did, honestly.
Yeah, so I'm owning bikes and riding bikes and fucking mountain biking, road biking, fixed gear riding. That's my life. Like that's what I do, you know. Fucking mountain bike, downhill shit. We love that shit. My brother and I go out all the time. Yeah, so
Did you put like the tape on my handlebars? You know.
Oh yeah. I saw your shit in the
At my
in your
crib,
house,
yeah.
your crib. I was like, oh, that must be Shneaky's bike.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, dude.
That's not the one I'm gonna ride to San Diego though. My homie told me I need to buy a better bike to get down there.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. That's a
But
far
I'll come
ride.
to you
Yeah, come to
where
me.
you could like
Hell yeah, dude.
point me in the right direction.
Nah, if you want to borrow a bike, I have a sick ass bike for one ride. You can use it. Yeah,
That shit would get me an SD.
all carbon, everything.
So it's super light.
Yeah, race
But
quality.
what if I like eat shit?
Hey, that's a good
I
question.
don't want to fuck up your bike and then owe you like 3 G's.
That's a good question.
Because that sounds like an expensive.
No,
bike.
I got another bike you could. No, I'm just playing. Nah.
Hey, nah,
It's
but for
clowny.
real, I gotta start training, bro. I gotta start training to do a 100-mile ride, bro. Cause
When are you trying to do it?
I mean, I was trying to do it before I turned 31, but that's like not realistic anymore.
How old are you now?
30.
30.
Cause that was like my 30th birthday.
You can do it,
goal.
bro.
Like I went vegan. I want to ride my bike and I want to run in a marathon. But like I think I'm gonna give myself.
See,
5
running's hard. I fucking hate running. Running and jogging and even walking, bro. I don't even like walking.
We didn't go to the moon because it was easy, bro. We went because it was hard.
I mean,
man.
I'd rather fucking
Do you think we went to the moon?
rollerblade or like I'd rather be on wheels and shit, you know. But it's a good segue question. Do I think we've been to the moon?
I feel like you're one of those people. I feel like you're a skeptic. Like from what I see on Facebook, either you're a skeptic or you like to be a contrarian, or you just like to like point out like, oh yeah, the
No.
Amazon's burning,
It's
but
just
NASA said it's not even that bad. I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah, it's a little bit of a contrarian spirit for sure, and it all is to learn how people react to the opposing view. That's my gain from it.
Oh, so
you
you're
know?
being like a sociologist and shit?
Exactly. I drop it right, and I'm like, now let's wait and see what we catch, you know.
So you're a troll.
To some element,
You're a
yeah,
troll.
to some degree.
You and your friends
I'm
are
also a
trolls.
troll.
You and your
Yeah.
friends are trolls.
Yeah,
Alex
for
is a
sure.
troll too. You just be trolling the same person all the time.
Yeah. And you know, most people go on their whole lives not knowing that we were trolling them. It's pretty incredible.
Wow.
Oh my god, we've done so many trolls. Fuck the internet, bro. Good thing I never got on Twitter because it sounds like more bad news on there.
I love Twitter, bro.
Yeah.
I feel like people are more real on Twitter.
You like Twitter?
They got porn on Twitter. Yeah, I feel like it's just a more real. It's like there's not as many people on it, but I feel it's like an accurate like representation. Like it's a good group. Like as if you were gonna take like a test group or whatever, a sample size, you know, of like
yeah.
what of a indicative of like you get everybody on Twitter. You know, there's like every type of person on Twitter and shit.
That I guess that kind of makes sense. I've seen like groups for things that are like not suitable for work type shit, you know. And just because of that, just because they allow that, there's a whole, you know.
And Twitter has like a lot of like movements happen on Twitter because like the people that are on it are very like active. You know, it's like a very active platform. Like
I see, yeah, definitely more activity. If you look at Facebook now, it's fucking, that's just dry. You know what I mean? Like Facebook is for old people,
it's
basically.
people
now.
sharing shit
Yeah.
or trying to troll. Like that's
pe-
all. Or like you know, it's like you're
yeah.
either sharing some other shit that you saw, or you're trolling, or you're connecting with like family, or like I guess like a lot of my fucking college friends are on
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Facebook, or like that's how they reach me. You know.
For like long distance. So you say Facebook has a function as a long distance connector.
Yeah, or like someone who like you want to be connected to, but you're not like you don't talk to every day. Cause like I tweet every day, you know, so like if people are following me on Twitter, they're getting like, they're hearing my thoughts constantly.
Oh.
I'm fucking communicate. I'm adding them, you know. I'm on Twitter like pretty active, you know.
That's interesting. You do you use it more than any other platform?
Nah, I think I use Instagram the most.
Instagram?
Yeah. But I feel like every platform has its function, especially for us, right? So like,
Absolutely. Yeah.
Facebook has events. You know, that's what I like about Facebook is I create the event page right there.
Dude,
and
that's
people
a
can
good way
see
to
it.
look at it. Everyone has a different function, so
Right.
that's what kind of makes them the difference, right? Between the companies. So like
Well, Facebook and Instagram are technically the same thing, right? But people use them differently. You know?
exactly, yeah. And Facebook, what they did there is fucking genius, bro. They figured out a way how like they could fucking make a new platform, right? So that the next generation that moves on will move on to their platform. So they secured their future.
they bought the next hot thing.
They bought the next hot thing. So
And they did that, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of a monopoly, you know,
so imagine that.
because they
like-
own WhatsApp too,
Yeah, they also own WhatsApp.
Instagram, Facebook. It's like
Yeah.
Like
Now
every-
imagine if Facebook became Google, and there was like a huge super merger of some sort like that. See,
I feel like Google is their main competitor though right now,
that's when I think
because Google has been trying to make a fucking social platform forever.
that
Google
shit
Plus.
was bunk though, bro. Nobody went on Google Plus. Useless. See, now Google's good for one thing though, for their Google business. Because so when you use
Yelp and like Google Maps, I have a Google account.
If you use Google Business, all of a sudden it becomes really useful. Now you can fucking.
I need to get back on my LinkedIn game. Since I'm going back into acquisition mode, my LinkedIn is pretty impressive.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I never fucked with that one.
Well, it's I think it's one of those things they push on college students because it's more like professional based, and you can find like you can talk to people inside of companies. It's like it's like more like where you work and like your network is like supposed to be like your business. Like
I've done my fair share of investigating people and trying to know everything about them. And
that sounded super creepy.
LinkedIn. Nah, sometimes you gotta keep tabs on motherfuckers, you know? So like we don't want nobody lurking out of the shadow like striking when I'm not paying attention, you know what I mean?
Damn, bro, you got enemies like that?
No, but
because I don't.
It's happened.
I'm a rapper, and I don't even have enemies like that.
Nah, it's not like that. It's just it's precautionary. It's just all.
Yeah, you have PTSD, bro, from the hood. That's what it is.
That's all it is. Hey, it's a good skill to have. Sometimes you never know when it might come through. You know.
I like how you just called PTSD a skill. You know.
Hey, I'm serious, dude. Like you got a different. You see things different.
You have to fuck it. Yeah. I mean, so I got stuck. There's a new podcaster coming to La Clica Network. And her father has a nonprofit that works with like getting autistic children into work.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And the way he did it is that like he rethought autism, you know? Because like usually, and I forgot the phrase he used. I'm really mad right now that I can't remember because it's like so catchy and shit. But he's like it's like a skill, you know. They have like one skill, something that they're really good at. Like usually autism, like maybe you don't have the social thing, but then you're like super in tune at doing like math, or you're good at like organizing.
So that's not just a myth. That actually happens. So so some people who have had Down syndrome and these type of diseases proficient.
I don't know about
skill.
Down syndrome. I don't know about Down syndrome. I know about the autism spectrum. Okay. Like because it's like there's like different levels of it. And so there's times where like and I know this like on a third party, like because I have friends who work in the field, and I met this gentleman, and then like my nephew is possibly or for sure on the spectrum. So like, you know, we've been kind of like absorbing information, you know. So and it just what this man says is that usually, at least with his organization and what they've been able to prove by being able to place autistic people, and he calls them something skilled. It's like they're uniquely skilled. That's what he says. They're not autistic. They're uniquely skilled. They have like one skill that they can do. And so his organization places these uniquely skilled people with companies, and the company
to do that job,
to do a job for them, like to do a task, you know, and they're more reliable. Because they don't usually get hired, and because they find it difficult, like they go out of their way to like be on time, like they show up to work, you know, and because of their unique ability of like not maybe having social skills, but being able to just focus on the task, like they actually do the task better, you know, than like a person who's like talking on their lunch break and like, you know, like creating relationships with their coworkers. Maybe they're not, or they're on their phone all the time, you know, like, so like it's just. That's what I'm saying, like uniquely skilled, right? It's just a different way to look at it. So yeah, your PTSD is actually like a unique fucking like spider sense that keeps you like.
Yeah, that's probably one way to describe it for sure. Yeah,
it's like a fucking it's a unique it's like a sixth sense or something.
It definitely doesn't come from a good place. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like it's not something that you'd want someone else to have. Right. You know what I mean? Like, so I see what you're saying. Because, yeah, sometimes, you know, being, like, that mindset for too long will cause you to, like, maybe get too stressed out, you know, from, tripping all the time.
They've definitely done studies of, like, you know, cortisol levels and, like, just increased hormones, like stress, fucking body,
exactly,
and health, like, physical health issues that come
So the question is, how do you lay back and chill and shoot someone when you have to at the same time? Like, how do you do both of those things together?
I think I gotta leave, bro. Thank you. I can't handle these questions, right? I don't know, man. I'm not really about the violence, you know. Like I don't own a gun. I've never shot a gun. Like,
Nah, I'm just messing around.
I'm just
bro.
saying, bro. Like, this podcast, we're live right now. People want to know Shneaky. I don't know, bro. I'm not gangster.
Shneaky's not a gangster, everybody.
I'm not a gangster.
So
I don't
if you
own-
thought he was,
I don't
get
own,
out your mind.
don't own guns. Never shot a gun.
Are you against
But
the
I feel
Second
like
Amendment, kind of?
No,
Or-
not really.
Not really.
I mean, like, I know people that have guns. I know people that love guns. I know people that shoot guns. Like, I don't have issues with them. Like, I used to have maybe I shouldn't say this. I knew someone who had an AK-47. You know, that they like bought separately and assembled just to have it. Like, they just wanted to have it, and they go shoot it like in random places, fucking, like where it's allowed. And
Yeah,
shit.
and I think that's the only way to be able to get a weapon like that. Is
Yeah.
in pieces.
In
yeah,
pieces,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
they put it together.
Mm.
They know how to clean it. Like, they're fucking responsible gun owners or whatever. And like,
Yeah,
I have no issue with that. Shit, I mean, like, I kind of wish in today's day and age, like, I kind of wish I did have some kind of know-how of a gun, like, at least to like, what if I came across one, like, if I could like unload it, take it apart, like,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
or like maybe
it's good
in
knowledge
some,
to know, even just
in
because it's reality.
yeah, in some post, like in some event, like where something's going down, and like there's a chance that I can get a gun and do something, but I don't have that skill, so I can't, or like.
See, that's the reason why I do have firearms, because mostly for that reason.
Right.
Only to be used for emergency purposes,
Right.
in case everything goes to shit. And if you're always tripped out like me, then you're always thinking
everything's gonna go to shit, right?
Yeah. So then.
But maybe that's a good reason for you not to have a gun, because you're tripping out too.
Oh, see. Oh.
No, but even like on a more like fucking spiritual, practical, fucking like human thing, like to be able to hunt, and like I don't eat meat anymore.
Guns are useless for hunting, bro. Really, straight up. Like, they're fucking whack. Like, just get a bow. I also shoot bows, and like if you can get a nice compound bow with a nice fucking set of arrows, you could keep shooting, and you're never gonna run out of ammo. You know what I mean? But if you take a gun to it's the end of the world, right? You got a gun, and you're not gonna hunt with that shit.
No, I
you
meant
got
like
10 shots.
I didn't mean end of the world. I meant like hunt, like the way fucking Joe Rogan does it, hunt, go get some food, like, and then fucking pack out the meat, whatever, all that, like that whole experience, like.
Oh, that is kind of a dope experience.
Before I went vegan, I always thought like, yo, it'd be cool if I could just hunt for meat, and then I wouldn't have to like contribute to the fucking.
Bro, like if we think of like a redistribution plan for like the way we do shit, right? Like right now we take all our fucking nutrients from all these farms, right? That are just mass producing these crops and shit that have like not a lot of nutrient value,
Right.
And then we're using that shit to feed the cows, and then the cows eat that shit, and then now they are like fucking abnormal and fat and shit, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then we eat that shit. So in the end, like this whole process, it should be rethunk. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
we need
for
to
sure.
we go back there and figure out like, hey, like is there a more efficient way to spread out land? Because the way that the farming is going right now is not good. What if instead everybody was in a designated area, and that designated area was distributed by population? So there would be no such thing as overpopulation, right? You just spread it out thinner, and then people will farm more, right? And take more rainwater, set up solar farms.
Yeah,
people will do more things like this.
How do you get? You have to get the economy to move though. With like, you can't just spread the people out. How those people gonna like live?
Oh, of course not, bro. Yeah. So it's a big problem.
Like, you can't you can't just tell people like, hey, people that you're in LA now, like we're gonna move you out to Wisconsin, like because there's more space out there.
They're like, nah.
Take your fucking
bro.
LA media, Hollywood, entertainment jobs, and like go do that shit in Wisconsin. Make Wisconsin crack like that.
Hey, that's like stealing, like, good promoters. Fuck.
We're gonna make a trade.
How-
Wisconsin's gonna be the new Hollywood.
Damn. How long have you ever done Hollywood stuff?
No.
Like out here? No, like any
Hollywood,
of the,
like Hollywood, like what?
like in the Hollywood area, like on the Strip or any of the clubs there or anything like that, like in your DJ days?
In my DJ days, definitely not.
No?
No, nothing I can remember.
So
I
you
played in
mostly
a
hang
band
out.
there. Played in a band.
Oh,
there,
in a
though.
band,
Yeah,
yeah.
I did the Key Club.
Sick.
I think what else did we do? Yeah, I think I did the Key Club. That was about it.
That's tight,
In a
bro.
band, when I was in a band, yeah.
Hell yeah, man! Like
Honestly,
And-
dude, I feel like Hollywood, and I read an article, so maybe that's like recently, like, well, I guess a while back now, but I read an article that kind of like made me, I kind of felt like when I read it, I was like, oh, maybe that's why I never got into Hollywood, because like Hollywood is not like what it used to be anymore, you know?
nah, dude, it's definitely not.
Like it changed. It used to be like this big counterculture area where like everything was like
Yeah.
edgy, and I guess you can like anybody could go there and fit in. It was affordable, and like, you know, like Holly Weird, right? Like people walking around, like, you know, famous people, like blending with normal people, and everybody like kind of dressed however the fuck they wanted, and you can go walk around and get into anything. And it seems like
Yeah,
it's not
dude.
like that anymore, you know. And I
There's
feel
plenty of places that were cracking like that, you know, that does happen to. For
yeah,
sure,
now it's
yeah.
like everywhere has a dress code, and like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all like club top 40 shit, you know, bottle service,
Yeah.
cover charge, super
That- yeah,
exclusive,
all this shit
like-
from the like West Hollywood area, because that's what had all of the nightclubs and shit. It kind of moved up over time into Hollywood, and then just took over that shit, you know. And then of course everybody who was there, like Holly Weird, like you said, like they're gonna get outspaced, you know, or outpriced, I should
Well, and
say.
then they moved to like Echo Park and Silver Lake.
Yeah,
and then
now
Echo
they're-
Park became
They're
hit.
pushing that shit
Yeah,
over to
now-
the side.
Then they're gonna come to Bow Heights, and like that's
Yeah.
why we're in Sella, fool. Like we're already here. This is where
Yeah.
they don't know it yet, but they're gonna all want to be here. That's why we gotta be that community that like
Yeah.
builds up the walls and like makes the bond strong, and like,
So
it's really
you're
involved.
preparing for what you think might be like a takeover of the city and like a change.
Dude, gentrification's not gonna stop, bro. It's not gonna stop.
You think it's gonna spread all the way out
It's
to the
gonna
south
spread.
part?
It's gonna spread. Yeah, fool. Like it's already happening. They built a gym out of the Warner Theater on Pacific. It's like a big gym, like
Yeah,
it's a
yeah.
Trump supporting gym. Like, you know what I mean? It's like that's like, who's that for? That's not for the people that are here, bro. Like, who like the Latino community that surrounds that area is like, you know, not the healthiest, not the most health conscious, like don't really have the expendable income, you know, to have gym memberships. Like I'm pretty sure people use it from the community for sure. I'm not saying it's like no one goes there, but
Dude,
I'm
I
saying
can
like
tell you,
that gym got there because they're thinking like 5 years from now, 10
Yeah,
years from
yeah,
now,
yeah.
this is gonna be filled with like
oh, for sure,
hip,
it's the beginning.
health conscious,
It's the
like
beginning, yeah, and then from there it kicks off, and then it's just you know, and then once they do come in, then obviously
It's like you
it's
said-
a game of like you want to get set up before
that's what
the
you
wave
said. The
comes.
investors, right?
Yeah.
Like who's investing in these communities? Like who's like Pacific is like a lot of those places are boarded up. You know, like they're
Yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of the businesses are like leaving. They can't afford to be there anymore. They're not cracking. You know, so who's gonna come in and take all these places? You know,
That's exactly right. It should be young people
It
with
should be
new
us.
projects.
It should be us
Yeah.
taking.
That's
like,
who it should be.
but
I should
like-
be able to have prime real estate in that area and run a bike shop if I wanted to. Right.
right.
Yeah, but at this day and age, it's
su-
fucking nearly
super
impossible. Like,
expensive. Like unless you
yeah.
have some kind of investor backing
Yeah.
you, like there's or you save up
Yeah.
massive amounts of income. But then how do you live in this city at this, and then still be? You know, it's just like
yeah, it's ridiculous,
it's
bro.
just, so it's already happening, bro. Like it's already happening. Like people like it started in Venice Beach. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yeah,
it started in
yeah.
Venice, and now it's all the way
That's
down.
all the way
It's all the way
down.
down to Echo Park. Like.
Dude, I'll give
defend Boyle Heights. You know they're already
Dude,
fighting it in Boyle Heights. Like
I'm
it's
gonna-
just gonna the wave is gonna come, bro. So
I'm
we
gonna
gotta
give you a
like,
secret, bro, an
everybody-
insider secret, bro.
why do you think everybody goes to Bakersfield and Riverside and Moreno Valley and they move
It's the
out
same
San
thing, yeah,
Bernardino
it's getting
because
pushed
it's
out.
it's cheaper out there. So everybody like the wave is coming, pushing people. But then you know what's gonna happen?
I almost don't want to say it's a wave. I almost want to see it like an organism, like San Francisco it's the exact same shit. Like the city is completely gentrified, and then you got the people that were in the outside areas, like the Mission District and the Hunters Point, and like the areas that are the ghetto now are just getting flipped. You know, like completely flipped. Like the Mission Street is like the most popular place in the spot. It has clubs everywhere. Everybody goes there, and the rent skyrocketed so high literally no one could live there anymore. Like gone, like that, gone. You know what I mean? So I have seen the effects of fucking what it can do to small businesses and like strips like that, you know. But that's, in my opinion, I see that as like, you know, a weakness in our part to not be able to defend that. You know.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why we got to dig in now, right? Like,
exactly.
That's why I want the Redwood Room to keep cracking. Because if they close, and who's gonna come and buy that and open that bar? And what's gonna be their policy about hip hop and fucking weed heads and you know like you know, like what's gonna be
that's
there?
That's a good point, because
like, there's no cover charge, you know. Their policy is you'll never have to pay to be in this bar, right? Like who's gonna, you know, like what would that space become? Like who's gonna take it over? What's their bottom line gonna be?
Yeah, for sure.
If they're gonna invest like all this money to renovate it and do all the cool shit that we would want them to do, are they then gonna turn around and let us just like use it, or is it gonna cost us? You know, like, so.
Yeah, it can turn into, it could just be gone too.
Like
and
and
then
then
be turned into something else.
And then there's no fucking space for us, right?
Yeah.
So I want them to crack. Like I want to start getting more involved with like the city council and like like people who write the ordinances, you know, and start building relationships so that like maybe we can work on some kind of rent control. Maybe we can find ways like work with the city to get grants to like for us to be able to occupy these spaces in the city and pay rent and like do creative artistic things for the community and for the youth and like use all our skills and pass them on, you know.
Yeah,
a sustainable way.
That's one of the biggest gates, is being able to redistribute the information to the younger generation. You know, like people around here, they just don't do that shit. You know, like they just don't care about what's happening to the next generation,
or they don't know.
Yeah, or
because they're not involved enough themselves, because they feel like, all right, we set you up, now you got to go figure it out. So they never, you know, they were never involved with politics. So how are they going to tell you, hey, go be involved with politics? You know, it's like, gets back to that whole voting shit, right? Like, I have someone in my family who didn't vote. She's over here talking shit. And I'm
what
like,
about if you can't vote? Like if you're an immigrant? Yeah.
Well, I think that is even more reason for us who do have votes to do something with it, because there's a lot of people here who don't have that power, and they're also being affected by our lack of engagement in the system. Because like I said, bro, I don't think Hillary would have had fucking ICE raids and mass deportations.
Well,
and
did you know actually that there were more raids from ICE in Obama's administration than Trump is like halfway through his numbers the whole time. Yeah, every month. So like they have a tally of like when he became president, and then the same thing for Trump, and every tally Obama wins pretty much most of those arguments, like especially the ones about violence too, like bombing people in Afghanistan and shit like that. Obama had that shit on lock.
But what about the rise of white supremacy and terrorist attacks against minorities and shootings that are like linked to direct quotes from the president using the same rhetoric, the same language that comes from the Oval Office, or like targeting? You ever see a lawsuit that was won by immigrant workers for like wages and sexual harassment, and then they all get deported in one day by ICE? Like that's like people are like the shit at the border with the children in cages, and like the separation of families, and like detention centers, and people being scared and like fucking being taken. Like I don't know, I just feel like the way maybe we're seeing it more. Maybe there's no difference between what Obama and Trump's doing. We're just seeing it more. But I feel like there's no empathy or compassion coming from the Oval Office. And I feel like, again, this is hypothetical. I just feel like had someone else been president, we'd totally be living in a different alternate universe right now. And a lot of this shit wouldn't be happening, you know? And
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And I feel like we who had the vote had a chance to make that happen, and those of us who didn't vote kind of fucked up for the rest of the people who don't even have the chance to vote, and now they're being fucked by what we didn't like take control of our own democracy, you know?
Yeah. So you consider it as like holding some kind of responsibility.
It's a duty, bro.
to the,
Being a citizen is a duty. Like, it's a duty. Like, yeah, you're born to it, and it's something people take for granted, but it's a civic duty. Like, that's why you go to jury duty. That's why you pay taxes.
I don't go to jury duty.
Yeah, they come after you, bro, because it's a duty. Like,
no, they don't. You just have to tell them an excuse forever, and you never go.
Anyway, the point is, it's like being a citizen is a duty, you know?
Yeah,
like,
I see what you're saying.
We have
yeah.
responsibilities. Like, it's our responsibility to be informed and educated and engaged. It's our responsibility to, like, go out and knock on doors and, like, try to fucking, like, you know, have conversation with our neighbors.
With most people, like, who, I would say that the majority of people who don't vote are probably same as the majority of people who do vote, just doing it for no particular reason. You know, they just, like, picked one off of the TV and said, I'm going to vote for that guy, you know? Like, people voted for Obama because he was black. You know what I mean?
Right.
People voted for Trump
because he was white.
Yeah. Like, so if you can elect your skin color into office, if you can be racist on paper, right, and, like, cast a vote, then...
I mean, I guess, but a lot of that has to do with representation, right? When someone looks like you feel like they might have had a similar experience as you. You feel like they can understand you, or like that they actually value you as a person because they fucking look like you and they grew up with the same prejudices. And obviously it's not, you can't generalize. People aren't the same.
Yeah,
there's black rich people who fucking are well off and, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like greed and selfishness and all that shit runs in whatever color you are. You know what I mean? That shit's not
was really trippy for me particularly, to, like, growing up, like, the way that I did. Like, I'm the son of immigrants from Mexico, first generation, right? And I grew up with all the stereotypical things, like the no father and, like, all these things, right? So when you like, I have a backstory that I could just bring up and be like, yo, like, these are the reasons why I believe oppression exists, and, like, all these different, like, ideologies, you could say, right? I would look at those things and I would be like, not as fazed by them. You know what I mean? So when I hear like comparisons of people who are suffering versus other people who are also suffering, right? Like, you can compare, like, people do it all the time, right? They're always comparing the suffering.
The oppression Olympics is what they call it. Yeah.
So I kind of want to stay away from most of those things, right? And I want to have a centrist view, right?
Right.
But every time I take that narrow road, right? And, like, for example, if I decide not to vote, it isn't for 95% of the time that people vote, which is because of someone's skin color or because they're Democrat or Republican. Like, they're not informed. Like, they're kind of like gambling, you know? They're just placing bets on whoever they think is going to win type shit. Like,
right.
Yeah, it's kind of a strange thing. Like,
but I mean, at some point, it's like, yeah, that's a cool pessimistic view of people. But, like, I have a lot of people in my circle that are super informed, you know? And they fucking go out of their way to create cheat sheets for people. And they organize fucking meetings where they could talk about politics and go over bills. Like, so, like, these people are out there. There are people that are informed that are making good decisions, you know? And I, like, again, I feel like it's your responsibility as a citizen,
right,
to do that.
That's why,
but like,
it's definitely every individual's responsibility.
But I'm not even talking shit because, like, I don't even always do it, you know. And I feel like a lot of people have more important shit to worry about that's, like, higher priority, and they don't have the time or the patience, or they, you know, the language is tricky, whatever, right? There's all kinds of barriers, and, like, it should be easier. Like, it should be more straightforward. But, like, at some point, like, it's up to us, you know, to take action, to take roles, to, like, try to get into these positions where, like, then your opinion actually matters, you know, where you could actually say something and something happens because of it, you know.
Yeah, a lot of stuff gets said, but not a lot of stuff gets done. You know what I mean? People say, like, shit all the time, but does it get done? You know?
That's why I'm following through, man. Yeah. Like I said, I was gonna start a business. I said I was gonna, like, live off this shit. I said I was gonna try to bring, you know, experiences of Southeast LA and change the view of it, and, like, make people want to party in their own cities, you know, make people want to, like, go to events and celebrate culture and celebrate life, and, like, because it's it's not all just bar shit. Like, I do stuff at Border X, and it's, like, family.
Yeah, is that a new bar there, Border X?
It's a new brewery that just opened up in Bell. It's Latino owned. They originated in if you go to my Instagram, I got some videos up there. Originated in Barrio Logan, San Diego, California, and they just opened up their second location here in the Southeast. And again, like Latino inspired, they just put out a beer that's like locally grown strawberries.
That's
sour.
on Shneaky Entertainment.
Yeah. So I mean, and we do things like during the day, you know, festival type, all ages, family. I would go down to my feed. Yeah, so Tetris, like they bring in local artists, go down. So right there, that middle one, that was the below it. Down, that one. That's the grand opening.
Shit, they got some Aztec dancers.
I booked them.
Are they ones from Plaza Mexico? No.
They're from Southgate.
Oh, okay. Such a trippy thing to have inside a bar.
It's not a bar, bro. It's a brewery.
Oh, brewery.
It's like more like a tasting room. It's supposed to be cultural. Like they have art up. You know, they have. It's like a gallery. It's like a place where you can drink. You can dance. You know.
Let loose the taps.
People really need this shit too, you know what I mean?
I mean, when have you ever seen a room that big in Bell? You know.
Dude, people need that shit.
And if you go to another video up, which one is it? No, down. Hold on, I'm trying to think of which one it is. That's the Cella Arts Fest one. Go higher. Fuck, I might have archived it.
Cool.
Anyway, like there's like I had made like a recap of the last 12 months. Oh, you know what? It might be that one actually with just my logo.
This?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So see, like, it's not just about drinking and partying, but it's also like community, it's art, it's like bringing people together, it's like, you know, youth, it's like trying to connect, like that specific boulevard right there, you know, community stuff. Like that was a closed street events. I've done like high schools, you know, like this was at Border X for their summer kickoff event, you know, children, water guns, like comedians, vendors, that's the teacher strike. You know, this is some shit that I got flown out to do, you know. That's the summer sessions. This was like a graduation
Is that their first bar that they opened, and is that their first location ever?
No, that's their second location. They originated in San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Logan.
Yeah,
so they started there as their second location, and they're trying to open like 3 or 4 more. So that's like their business plan.
Yeah, shout them out. We'll tag them on there.
Yeah, Border X, at Border X Bell, you know.
Hell yeah.
So that's just like what the whole movement's about, you know, creating experiences, making the community stronger, getting people to take pride, and being able to hopefully pass on knowledge and education, and like give people another road of how to get involved and like, you know, make change in themselves, their lives, their community.
That's tight, bro.
Like we got people working on nonprofit stuff, you know, like trying to figure out how to like get funding and grants so that people could live off their art. We got other folks, you know, I got a homegirl who's actually city council vice mayor of Cudahy, you know, like young Latina, you know what I mean? So like I'm telling you, like that next generation that's growing up in all this turmoil, they're the ones that are gonna like be able to really flip the shit later, you know.
And we've been going on for quite a while now.
What's the time? Like 2 hours?
But I was gonna ask you one more question. I was gonna ask if you were. Fuck, I'm so high I forgot what question I was gonna ask you.
My bad.
Jesus Christ.
I smoked that rapper weed, dog.
Yeah. Oh, watch out. Hey, put it on the camera. So
nah, it's cool.
Oh, dude. Well, hey, man, it was nice having you on this podcast, bro. Like, is honestly, gonna further solidify more projects in the future and things like that. Hopefully, and maybe try and make a stronger like body, for the area. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, at some point, like, it's all about collaboration and coming together, because no one's going to be able to do it by themselves, You got to put together a team. You got to have...
Yeah,
everybody
sure,
has to, like, contribute and be able to, like, bring something unique to the table and have the ideas, And, like, that's why I appreciate you, man. Like, you DJ, you take video, you take photos. Like, I could trust you to be on point with the music and the vibes, to read the crowd, So... Like,
yeah, it really
thanks for always
is,
coming through and shit.
I'm sure there's a bunch of other people out there too, getting their hustle on, doing other particular things,
Yeah, and if y'all ever want to connect, man, I'm telling you, like, I like to work with people. I like to help people. Like, if I can get you on an event, if you're a vendor or an artist, or even if, you want help promoting your business, you need a DJ, or, like, try to, like, get some flyers out, print you flyers, can... get you street teams. Like, I'm connected to so many people that are doing so many incredible things, photography, music, everything, fucking,
that's
if you need
right
you need shirts, you need stickers, whatever you need, dude. My motto is DJ, MC, anything you need. Those are like my hashtags. So
that's what's up, bro.
Whatever, like, if you're a hustler and you want to work, fucking, I'll find a way to make us work, man.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen, the man Shneaky, the one and only.
Appreciate you, brother.
Man, I'm thinking we're gonna sign off now.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I got to. Yeah.